Hey everyone! So today I'm gonna be playing the new what's it called? The new Minecraft update. The two, what two 2.21 numbers. 1.21 or 2.12? Two. I can't remember, to be honest. I genuinely cannot remember what the update. We're gonna play the update. Um, I just started this random seed, so we'll see. We'll see where this goes. Sick. Oh wait, I'm gonna kill you first. I'm just gonna punch it to death. Um, I don't know really. So I haven't kept up with Minecraft in a very very long time. So I don't really know like what exactly is in this update. I know there's a mace, and I've been wanting a new weapon in Minecraft for so long. And okay, call me edgy, but I've low-key really wanted a scythe for a very long time. Because okay, not only would a scythe be cool for at least like weapon wise, but like it'd also be cool for like farming. Like oh, it could clear like a bunch of wheat or something in one hit or something. I don't know. I think it'd be cool. Um, but yeah, so um, I know there's a mace, and that's kind of all I know about this update. I don't really know much else. Let's see, what do I make? What am I making today? Not a hoe. Um, I kind of read a little bit. I don't know what I was reading though. Like, I saw something about trials, so I know there's like some sort of like maybe kind of like a chamber. I think I have to go through or something. To figure or to like to get specific things, and there's like a new mobs. I think there's an armadillo now. Um, what else? I'm trying to think what else. I don't know how many new blocks or anything there are. Okay, I'm gonna kill all the. Oh my god. Chickens are annoying to kill. The chickens I think are the most annoying for me to kill personally because they're so small and they get under everything and they just start and they're just so hard to hit. I don't know. Maybe I'm just bad at the game, but chickens are like genuinely just so hard to hit. Oh, see. I know with the mace too. Speaking about jumping, it's kind of me jumping reminded me of it. I know with the mace, the higher you jump, the harder you hit. Um, I will take some of these flowers. I really like these flowers. I'm mad that some white flowers don't make the fucking color white. They make like gray or something, and that pisses me off. I'm like, they look white. Like, why are they making gray? It just doesn't make sense to me. Um, I should probably find shelter first. Wait, whoa! I have some ore near me already. Oh, and a cow. Maybe I can get some leather. Um, oh my god, so many cows. Sometimes I feel bad for killing the animals. Like, they didn't do anything to me. And here I am, like, slaughtering them. At the same time, I have to think about, like, all the goodness they're bringing into my life. Okay. Trying to think of what else. Wait, I'm kind of nearby like a lot of things. There's a glaciers over there. There's ore over here. Let's see what I can get right here. Ow. So I didn't stream for a little bit because I was on a trip. I went down over to like SoCal, and the trip for the most part was like pretty fun for like I think a good half of I wasn't there for like super long time. I was there for like maybe about a weekish. Um, and so the first half of the trip just kind of sucked and like I don't know what it was. Like I think we had like bad luck or something. Like because I went with some friends, and so like I don't know. Like the vibes are just kind of off in the first half of the trip. I can't really see like too many of the details, but it just wasn't like the greatest, I would say. And then so at one point we get to our Airbnb. So the thing that makes it the worst was the Airbnb. So we get to the Airbnb and it's like we couldn't get the address until we booked it. So one of my friends who's like from the area didn't know like where it was until like he booked it and he realized like, oh, this isn't like the greatest area to be in, but whatever, right? Like we already booked it, we already spent the money, like there's no reason to like, not try it out, right? So we get there and it seems kind of okay. It's not quite exactly how it was listed, but we're like, okay, well, whatever. Like as long as long as we have a place to stay, right? Like that's the most important thing, right? So we we stay there for about 2 nights, I think, or 3 nights actually. I think it was 3 nights, and the first night was okay. It wasn't like the worst, but it was definitely like I've had better sleep somewhere else, kind of thing, right? And then the second night, and it's mainly the nights we were there because like we were out like doing stuff for like the days, so like we weren't actually in our Airbnb for the most part. It was just kind of like it was more of a place for us to come home to and to like put things like rest things in there. But so the second night, I think the AC went out. Like we were trying to turn on the AC and it just wouldn't turn on, and it was so hot, and we're just kind of like, what happened to the AC? And I think the only option for it was like the fan option, and it just sucked because like it was just blowing like warm air around the room. And then the beds were like crazy uncomfortable. I don't know what their beds were made out of, but it genuinely was like one of the most uncomfortable beds I've ever had to sleep on. And I don't know, it was just so hard. Like I literally couldn't sleep. And my other friends too were like, "Can you sleep?" And I'm like, "No." So, they had like a thingamajiggy, that was like, what's it called? What is the things called? Like the sofa bed things? What, like a sofa bed thing? I don't know what they're called. But anyways, they had one of those, so we ended up sleeping on that, and that was way more comfortable than the actual bed. And I think by like the third night or something, we were kind of like I think the morning of like the third night or something. Yeah, it was like a pull-out couch. It was like something like, I think it was like an IKEA one. I think finally we were like, okay, we're done with this place. This place sucks. The the host is okay because at some point they had like gone outside to yell that we were being loud, but they didn't actually like talk to us about it. They were just like yelling like they're so loud. But we just had the TV on like playing, and they could have like messaged us or told us like, hey, like you're being loud. And it was weird. It just sucked, right? And so we like texted Airbnb being like, hey, the Airbnb we're at like just sucks. Like it just isn't as good as it was advertised. We keep getting bug bites because me and like some other people had already gotten like bites on our legs, and they were like fat bug bites. And I was thinking like, oh, maybe they're like mosquitoes or like a spider or something, right? And and we were telling them like, yeah, like we just got like, it just sucked, right? Like we didn't like how the area we're in. We were uncomfortable at night. Like it was hot and humid, and like we also took pictures of the mattresses, and we realized that as we peeled back like the mattress and the blankets and everything, that it was like gross. It looks like it was not washed. It was like it was just disgusting. And so literally like not even I think 5 minutes after my friend like puts in the request to Airbnb, because we had requested like if they could like maybe get us a new place or if they could help us find a new place, like not even 5 minutes later they give us a call and they're like, hey, so from the pictures you're sending us, it actually looks like your Airbnb might have bed bugs, and like we can't reassign you guys like a home or anything because we don't want the cross contamination, but you guys should like get out ASAP. Like highly recommend you guys evacuating, get all your things out, stuff like that. And we were so pissed because like bed bugs are like so hard to get rid of, because you have to like wash everything. I wish we triple checked our Airbnb. We really regret it, like not like, because we had checked it night one, and we're like, okay, this place doesn't seem like we just didn't see anything around the bed, like the actual like mattress of it, and so we're like, okay, this is fine, like we're not sweating or anything. But then after like Airbnb had told us like we probably had bed bugs, we like did like a more thorough check around like the headboard and that sort of thing, and we saw like a bunch of the eggs and stuff like that, and we were so mad. And it's like, it just sucked, right? So then we had to spend like, I think we all spent about 4 hours maybe at a laundromat, like like this like little small tiny laundromat, trying to like wash out all of our clothes to make sure we don't have any bed bugs. So like to like we also washed our like luggage and everything too, like whatever we could, just to like make sure we didn't bring any home. And it just sucked. Like I was like I was like low key like crying the whole time because I was like I don't know, it just made the trip like really bad. And I was like just in general stressed about the trip. um and so I think after we got like all that like washed and taken care of, we were able to find like a hotel nearby, and thankfully Airbnb like covered some of the hotel costs, but it was pricey. It was still like expensive, like because like last minute like coverage and everything, and it's in general it was just like a pain. And um, I don't know, like I did not expect our trip to be like that, but then thankfully like once we got in the like hotel like and we got settled in there and everything, like everything was fine. Like after that the trip went great, like everything went to plan. um and I don't know, it was just where'd all these sheep go? There was like a bunch of sheep here all of a sudden. um but yeah, like I don't know, I'm so paranoid of Airbnbs now because I think I had one other bad instance with an Airbnb, and I feel like, oh, that's a creeper. And I feel like the people you get with Airbnbs, like the support and everything really varies. Like you either get someone who's like really good or someone who like sucks and does not care about you and like is just gonna take your money. And then our friend ended up getting like a message later from the host of the Airbnb being like, "How dare you accuse us of having bed bugs? Like we only have 5 stars, and no one's ever complained about it before." Like, and I don't know, they were just like pissed, and they were like, "You should have messaged us and told us that you were having an issue in our home. Like, why did you go straight to Airbnb? Now our post got taken down." And they were like just upset about it, but we're like, what can you do if you have bed bugs? It's not like a like, oh, let me just like fix it up real quick, it's like that's like an issue that like you have to get like fixed. So we don't know what they even could have done in general, and we just went like overall we're not happy with like the place we're in. So it's like I don't know, it was just like, what would you have done to accommodate us kind of thing, right? Oh my god, I hate fucking toddlers in Minecraft. um but yeah, so that's that's something that happened. So I don't know if Airbnb had called them out or anything. Like, I think they did have some strikes against them though, because like Airbnb was real quick about it. So I don't know if maybe like they had like been spoke to or something by Airbnb before. I know that the agent that we were assigned to like for support, they called. At least they attempted to speak with the homeowner, but they like wouldn't answer any of the calls. So they couldn't even like get in touch with them to confirm like if what we're saying is true. So after like I think a good like 20-30 minutes, they were just like, okay, well you guys have submitted enough evidence, like we believe you, like just get out and everything. um but yeah, I just sucked. I was like, oh. So I didn't stream. I wasn't streaming for like that week just because like I was on my trip, and also like when we got back we were just exhausted. Like, I mean, like we didn't even travel like that far for our trip, but it was still like, I don't know, like I think just leaving your home in general can be so tiring. Like I'm just a little office worker, so like when I have to do anything that's like that's like traveling or anything, it just like tires me out. um but yeah, I'm trying to think of some of the cool things. Oh, I went to a like a I think the bookstore brand is called Kinokuniya. It's a like a Japanese bookstore. um oh shit. And we have some over like where I'm from, but they're really small. They're not like anything cool or impressive. Um and the one over there, like down like in SoCal, was like really nice, and they had a ton of merch for things that like I didn't think I would ever see in a store. Like they had a lot of like VTuber stuff, and I was like, oh my god, like I need to get out of here. It was like I think we went there too like on our last day, so we had like our luggages like really full and packed, and like we just had like too much packed, right? And I already spent like a ton of money, and and the hotel was expensive, so like we were just broke. Oh my god, so we were broke in general. And going to this Kinokuniya, and I saw like all like the VTuber stuff, I was like, I'm in danger. Like I'm gonna spend all my money and I think I did spend like a decent amount. Like, um, I think we went to that, and I'm trying to think what other cool things we did. Um, we had plans to go to like a tar pit because I'm like really into like dinosaur and other like prehistoric things, right? So I was like, oh my god, I've never been to like a tar pit, but I think it'd be super cool to go and see like see one, right? Um, and we had plans to go, but that morning was the morning we had to deal with all like the bed bug stuff, so our plans were just completely canceled, and I was like so mad. I was like, oh, like it just sucked. Um, oh, actually no, I'm thinking. So another thing we did too, we went to medieval times. And so I didn't know what that was until like one of my friends was like telling me, he's like, oh, it's literally like knights like jousting each other. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, is it like a movie? Is it like a play? And they're like, no, it's like real like actors. Like they're just jousting each other. And I thought that was so cool. So we so we went in, and I think we were seated on like the Green Knight, like his side, and it's literally like a little arena where like um it's like an arena where there's like a sand dirt pit in the middle where like all the horses and everything are, and then like all the knights are there, and I think there's like about six of them. I might be wrong, but I think there's like six knights, and they start off the show by like having a little thing of like, oh, there's a queen and a princess and like her royal knight that like defends her and stuff like that. um and there's I don't know, it's like interesting. They just did like a couple cool shows. So they had like a falconeer, I think is what they're called, like the falcon, oh my god, like a falcon user, a falcon tamer, whatever they're called. um and so that was really cool, like seeing like a falcon with like, I think it probably had like minimum like a 10-foot like wingspan, like fly around the room. And then I'm trying to think what else. Like the fights were kind of cool. Like they jousted and everything, and I don't know. It was an experience I didn't think I'd have in 2024. Um, I'm just running around. I'm like, I don't have enough wool to make a bed, so I'm just running. Um, but yeah, so that's all the cool stuff I did on my trip, pretty much. And then yeah, so when I got back home from our trip, I just been kind of like working and relaxing because I'm just like, okay, I need a vacation from my vacation, but I also want to like relax from work. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to think what else. It was interesting. It was definitely hot down there too. Like it gets warm where I'm at, but like down there, like I don't know, it was like it was a mix of like really humid sometimes and like not humid, and it was weird. Um, yeah, so the place I went to too, like medieval times, is also a restaurant, and so my friends, because one of them had been there before, and they had told me like, oh, like expect the food to be really bad, like the food's gonna suck, because they try to recreate like how the medieval people like would do it, and so I was expecting like really shitty food, but it wasn't that bad. Like they gave us a whole like, I think it was like, honestly it felt like half a chicken. Like it was massive and it was really like thick and juicy. I think it was like the thigh or something. um it might have been like the thigh and the leg like together. And then they gave us like tomato sauce, or not sauce, tomato soup, and I think it was garlic bread, I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to remember everything they had. um but yeah, so it's kind of cool. Like they really try to recreate the whole experience of like being like, I don't know, like people watching like knights joust and stuff like that. Um, and then my friends told me the next time we go back down there, we can go to, because I guess right next to medieval times, there's like a pirate place that has the kind of like same thing of like pirates acting out like a play and stuff like that, and you get to eat and dine there. Um, so yeah, so I'm kind of excited for that, going down there next time. Um, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. I did not. I feel like it's. I made a whole circle. Oh my god. Um, I just didn't expect like things like that to be a thing. Like I just thought they were like. I don't know. I don't know what I thought. Like I just did not expect it to be like a thing. Um, but I guess it also makes sense because I know a lot more people like nowadays are getting into like D&D and like some other stuff. Um, so it makes sense, like that kind of stuff, especially now, is like pretty popular. Um, I did get a little embarrassed though because I noticed there's like a lot of kids there, and a lot of the kids were like really into it, and I noticed I was like super into it too, and I was like, oh my god, the only people like this excited are like the children. Like, should I not be this excited? Um, so I was just like, maybe I'm like a child. Okay, let's see. I've just been running around. I I don't know anything about the trials in the my Minecraft thing. Um, but I guess I should make a home. I'm trying to think. I'm used to playing Minecraft with like a lot of friends, so playing like Minecraft on my own, I'm just like, what do I do? Like I'm just kind of used to like finding a home with all of them, and then ooh, a sheep, and then like just like making a little village or something. Um, okay. This is gonna sound really sad, but so when I was younger, I did not have any like, um, I didn't like have any gaming consoles. So like my parents were very like, we just didn't like have it in our funds, right? To get like gaming consoles or anything. So I think the first time I like got anything I could game with was in maybe I think maybe when I was like 11 or 12, maybe around then. Um, and so like I would play Minecraft. Like I think it was one of the very few games we had on like our I think it was like an Xbox. It was like one of the very few games we had on the Xbox, but it was only single player because like we didn't have the money to like buy for multiplayer. And so what I would do is I would make homes in the like single player for like all my friends and everything. And my idea was like, oh, it's okay if like my friends can't actually play with me. I'll just make them like houses. So like if I ever could play with my friends, like they would live in these homes. And so I think I had like a little village for all of my friends, and I had like their homes designated to them and everything. Um, and I would just do that like so much, like playing Minecraft as a kid, just making things for like my friends. Where I'm like, oh, my friends, well, one day will play with me, you know. And I think back on it sometimes, and I'm like, man, that's kind of like sad. um, and I would also like watch a lot. I don't know if you guys have watched them, but I would watch Achievement Hunter. Like they're like a small gaming group from Rooster Teeth. I think the company finally like closed down recently actually, but I would watch a ton of Achievement Hunter, and so I would get like all my gaming updates from like them. Um, and they play like Minecraft like every single week too. So I would just like watch their Minecraft videos and be like, oh my god, it's so cool, and like try to recreate it. But it's six guys playing like all together in a group. So and I would try to recreate some of the builds that are meant for like six people, and like I don't know, it's just, I would make it to feel less like alone playing games. But like I don't know, just thinking about it, like I said, it just makes me be like, oh man, like that's kind of sad. Like I did that. I think I finally got like a PC to play with people like in I think a freshman year in high school or something. But the first game I played with people was fucking like League of Legends, and all of my friends were toxic. Like they were crazy toxic. I think they literally, if I remember right, they literally like traumatized me from like wanting to play like normal games. Like I did not want to get out of playing custom games because every time I'd play like a custom, they'd be like, "Oh my god, if you don't like do better in like the normal games, you're gonna get roasted. They're gonna like call you a slur or something, right?" And I was like so scared. And so eventually they tricked me into playing like a normal game, and I don't know, just like it was bad. I played with a super toxic like league group for a good like 3 years, and I think after that it just kind of made me like be very picky at who I play league with. Because I've like told people like, oh yeah, I play League of Legends, and then they want to like play with me so bad. But I know, like if I get to know someone, I can see generally like how they are when they play a game, and I don't know if I think you're too toxic playing a game, I'm just like not gonna play it with you. Like I've had some guys be like, oh, like I'm not toxic at all. I'm only like I only get mad when we lose or something. I'm just like, yeah, I don't want to play like League with you. Like yeah, like League, I don't know, like I like League as a game, but also the player base is just so scary and so like intimidating, and it's so hard. Like I want to tell people so bad sometimes, like I play League of Legends, but then like if I tell them that, like it scares them off. um, or what sucks more is that I'm like the typical, like I play the typical like girl roles, which is like bot lane and support, and like people always ask me like, what do you main? And I tell them like the typical like girl champs pretty much that like most girls play, and they're like, oh, so you're like one of those girls. And I don't know, like I just hate that attitude. So um I haven't played League in a long time, and I think it's kind of one of the reasons, because like there's like that like ooh because like that like group of people like who play League, they're just very like, oh, I only want to play, like they're very toxic and very like like judgmental, and like, you know, just in general just very toxic. This is like a testing thing, right? Oops. Let me see. This is like where you find like a zombie villager, right? Sick. Should I take an apple? I have enough food. I'll probably come back to this later. I want to make a home, but I'm so picky of where I make my home. I'm very into like either like taiga forest or um what's it called? Oh my god, I'm blanking on the tree names. This kind of spruce. There you go, spruce forest. But I don't like snow biomes. I don't know. Snow biomes are like annoying to live in, I think, because like the snow stacks up and everything. Um, so I kind of stay away from it. This might end up just walking. This might end up just being like a walking sim for Minecraft. um, but yeah. Yeah, League players are like really elitist, I would say. They're very like, I don't know, they just are annoying. I think I've met a lot of really annoying like League players. I've never played Soulsborne, but I've heard some cool things about it. But I've never like gotten super into it, so I don't know too much about it. Um, but maybe it's a game I'll play. I'm like looking for games to try out because I don't know. I have to expand like the amount of games I play. I've been trying to buy more and more games, um, but oh, I suck at this. I'm trying to like run fast if I can. Um, but yeah, like I want to try to see what other games I can play, because for the most part I play a lot of single player games. Like I bought recently what's the game? Still Awakes Deep. Oh my god, I can't remember the game name. I have such a bad memory. I'm so sorry. But it's a new horror like psychological game that came out about like basically like and like it's like a Cthulhu type of like horror on like an oil ring. Still, I think it's like Still Wakes the Deep Sleep or something like that. So I bought that, but I'm like, no, I have to play like more multiplayer games. I just play like single player games. I don't know. I think I get like very nervous like playing in front of people because I'm like, oh my god, what if I suck or what if I don't do good? Um, but yeah, I just have like that little fear of like, oh my god, like what if someone says something, or even worse, like I hate playing games like for example like Valorant or something, or any game that requires like voice comms, just because like anytime I do need to speak on the mic or something and people hear like I'm a girl, they're like, oh my god, you're a girl. Like I had this one guy in Valorant like follow me the whole game, and he like would not stop bugging me, and I don't know if he was doing it just like to troll and annoy me, or if he was genuinely like, oh, if I keep talking to this girl I'm gonna get some, you know, I'm gonna get some coochie or something, right? Like I generally don't know what his thought process was, but he was so annoying, and it was just like one of those things of like, oh, like I don't want to play these games if like, oh my god, am I gonna die? Am I dying? No, no, no. Oh my god, I'm so bad at fighting in Minecraft too. But yeah, it's just one of those like things of like, I don't want to like play games with people if it's gonna be like annoying like that. Or I see too like girl like videos of girls playing on like other kinds of games. They have voice comms, and they also get like, actually I should let them get pulled in. And they also get like flamed and everything, or like, I don't know, just like things, right? And it makes me like paranoid. Like I get so scared of like, oh, I don't want to talk to like guys in games if they're gonna be like aggressive and everything. Oh, you're still alive. Die. Should I make my bed actually real quick? I think I'll do that. Yeah, I think playing with your friends, to be honest, is like usually like a good bet on things. Like I personally don't really play a lot of multiplayer games unless I have like a full party or I have like something with friends. Um, Dark Souls and Elden Ring are also games I really want to play. I'm just also scared of the bosses. I've seen so many videos of people like dying so easily to the bosses. Um, and I don't know, like I've never played those kind of games. And so I feel like I would die really easy playing those. I don't know how people do. Like I think there was one guy who did the what was it like? He tried to perfect the game, like not take any damage or anything, and I'm like, that's crazy. Like I don't know how he did that. Um, so people who can actually like do those like hard difficulty games, like kudos to you guys. But I also do love like the deep lore the games have. Like I haven't gone too deep into it, but I've seen like a couple videos and like they talk about the lore, and I don't know, it's just kind of cool. Like I like all like the kinds of like monsters and like bosses they have, and like all the secret things you can find. Like I don't know, I think it's really neat in like a video game when they have that kind of stuff. Um, like I'm really into like lore or like things you can discover as like a player. Um, there's like a word for it, like lore that's not explicitly said either, but like you can like find out through like the environment. Um, like that kind of stuff is really cool. Like I remember playing Left 4 Dead, and like all over the walls they have like all the messages and everything of like pretty much like they're telling you like what happened generally in the story. Um, I don't know. I think that stuff's really neat. Like I really enjoy it when game developers like put that kind of stuff in, because like I think it shows like a lot of thought being put into their game. Should I look for the treasure? Yeah, like subtle storytelling. I can never remember the words to things. I'm like constantly thinking like, what is this called? What is that? Like, what is, you know? Or it's really bad at work sometimes because I'll be like talking to people on the phone, and I'm like trying to think of like the right word, and it's like so awkward being on the phone, like being like, what's that thing called? So I avoid trying to be on the phone with people, especially because we work with like in the medical field kind of, so we work with patients, and it just looks so bad if I'm just like, oh, what's that thing called? Like, because you know the patients on the phone expect you to like know what you're talking about, and but yeah, it's just like awkward. Um, let's see. Should I look for this? I like low key hate looking for buried treasure in Minecraft because it's just like kind of annoying to get to, but at the same time, sometimes it's like really rewarding. I keep like pressing the wrong button. Let's see. Some in the corner. So I don't know. I'm not moving. I'm also really bad with directions, like IRL and in games. Like I suck at directions. Um, I think I got it from my mom because my mom also really sucks at directions. Um, like I'll be on the road with someone, and usually I'm like the little passenger princess, you know. I'm just like on the side and everything. And they'll tell me like where am I going now? And I'll be like, oh yeah, I forgot to check the directions, and I'll check, and I'll be like, the exit was like 5 exits ago. Yeah, I want to play adventure games so bad with people. But I don't have a lot of friends that are like crazy into that right now. Like I think they're into I'm trying to think. Like my friend group is the kind of friend group that changes games like every like week. Every week they have like a game of the week pretty much, and they're like on that pretty much. And if we're not playing like that game, they're not really interested in like playing other games in general. Um, but I would love to have like a group of friends to like play like adventure type games. I remember I used to play a lot of like Black Desert Online and also Terra, and those games were really fun, especially like in a friend group. Like, um, I think it was really intense too when you have to like fight a boss and you're like prepping for the boss fight and everything. And like that kind of stuff is just really like entertaining. Like I low key kind of like the role play aspect sometimes with those kind of games too, where everyone's like kind of really into like their role or their character and stuff. And especially when games have really good like character customizations, like it's just so nice because then you can like really get into it. Um, Maybe I'll start playing those games again. I try to get back into Black Desert because I dropped it for a little. So I realized playing Black Desert, I got a little too addicted. So like, I made spreadsheets for like where to like farm specific things, and I think after a while, I kind of realized like, wait, like Kumo, no, like you're getting too into this. Like you're losing grasp of reality. Because like I would literally I think I was in college at the time, maybe like end of high school. I remember literally being like waiting for class to end so I can go home and grind like where I need to grind like and sell everything. Like I had so many things mapped out. Like I remember I knew like where to get like so my process usually was to go and like kill high level like mobs and everything, sell the meat for a high price, and you know, it was kind of like a little business, right? So I would just kind of go and like um and whoops. So I would just kind of in general like just um go like sell meat for a high price, get the money, and then buy other items I need to get and everything. And then, you know, and that was kind of like my general cycle and everything, right? And then I'm trying to think what else. My friends would also do something as well. I had one friend who he I think he maxed out his like his cooking like skill, and he would sell a bunch of the food he would make, and then he would also like try to max out his, because in Black Desert, if I remember right, your horse has like a stamina strength and everything. And I remember he would put his horse like to walk around in loops, so it would like develop stronger like better stamina and everything. And I don't know, we were also addicted to the game. Like it was, I don't know what it was about that kind of game, but just like playing Black Desert, we were so into it. And I think at one point I was just kind of like, okay, I'm into this like way too deep. I need to stop. Like I need to relax. Um, and I think, oh, where are they shooting from? And I think by the time I decided to like get back into Black Desert, um, like they had made a bunch of updates, and I don't think my character saved. I don't, if I remember right, it didn't save. I have to check again. But I like low key also like want to start new, so I was like, okay, this is fine, because they had like a bunch of other updates that like I just totally have not kept up with. Um, but yeah, playing this, I don't know, like those kind of games are just so addicting. Oh my god, I keep pressing the wrong button. Whoa, I'm like finding things on accident. Yeah, when games have like relaunches or updates, it just sucks. Cause like, if your information doesn't save or anything, like it just like, I don't know, it just bums you out. Like especially if you get back into like a game, and you're super excited to get back into it, and then you can't because like your character or something um is like gone. Like I don't know, it's just like a total killer. Wow, I'm just finding a bunch of things. Oops. Sorry if my keyboard, by the way, is a little too loud. I don't know how loud it is on like on the mic or anything. So if it's a little too loud, just let me know and I can try to like adjust it or something. Um, I did like a little video where I did like some keyboard ASMR. I was trying to find my pickaxe. It's like right here. Um, but yeah, I went to what was the convention? I went to Offkai, and Offkai, like me and like one of my friends we wanted to like try to make a bunch of friends, and so we just went around and we asked a bunch of people like if they want to touch our keyboard. Um, oops. And a lot of people thought we were vendors at Offkai, which I thought was kind of funny because they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go to your booth later," And I was just like, we never said anything about a booth, and we never said anything about like selling our keyboards. It was funny. Like we just had like two kind of like really heavy keyboards with us. Um, I did a circle again. Um, but yeah, one of my friends is making he's on his new project for a keyboard. I think it's a oh, I'm forgetting the name of the keyboard. It's like one of those split keyboards with like when like your hands are on totally separate like areas, like it's completely split from the middle. Um and so he's working on that, and I'm like, I don't know how you can type on it, cuz okay, so I did learn how to type properly when I was in school, but I just refused to actually type properly because I was like, well, I was like, I'm typing fine right now. Like, I don't need to learn how to type right. Low key kind of regret it because I think I'm sometimes I get like a little bit of carpal tunnel. Um, whoop. But but it's fine because I feel like I type faster either way, like with how I type and everything. Um, but the keyboard that he has, like you have to type properly, and it's like so weird. I'm just like, oh, I cannot like at all for the life of me. I literally cannot use this keyboard. Yeah, keyboards are very. I didn't know too much about keyboards, like, and up until a couple months ago, to be honest, I wasn't really big on them, and I had some friends that were, and I kind of just admired them from afar. I was just like, okay, you guys can get into that. Like, don't talk to me about it because I'm not gonna know what you're talking about, right? But like, cool, right? And then recently, one of my friends kind of like really got me into it, and I think I started understanding. I'm like, okay, I get why people are really into keywords. Um, I made my own keyboard, like, from like a build your own kit and everything. And it was so stressful. It was really fun, but it was so stressful. Cause I'm just like, oh my god, like one wrong thing and it can be like an expensive fix sometimes. Um, and thankfully everything went fine. It was oh my god, I'm forgetting my build. It was a Zoom 98 with no, not moment. Zoom 98 with I'm forgetting my keycaps or my switches, but it's such a nice. I don't know. I'm so happy with how that keyboard turned out. It's so pretty, and I posted a picture on it of it on my Twitter, um, and I have it at work. Like I use it as like my work keyboard, um, and like I think the first time I brought it into work, everyone was like, "Whoa! Like how much did that cost you?" And it was kind of hard to tell people. Like I spent like a good almost $400 on that keyboard, because like that's a hefty chunk, you know. Oh my god, am I gonna die here? Um, I don't think no, because I have the moment switches on this keyboard. If you guys can hear it, um, it's I don't remember my oh my god, I can't remember my switches. It's so bad. I'm like so proud of it, but I'm like, oh yeah, I don't remember what they were. Oh, they were no, not Dongo, not Menagerie. I'm so close, on the tip of my tongue. um, Maggie's? No, it's so bad. um, but yeah, building. I think like being in like getting into keyboards is kind of hard because it's hard to know all like I don't know, it's really intimidating. But I think it's one of those things of like, oh, just like getting into any other hobby can be really intimidating. Um, Getting into keyboards isn't that bad. Once you kind of like dip your toes in, you're like, oh, okay, this makes sense. um, the Rude Sandstorm? No. I haven't heard that song in so long. I keep like finding these things, like just random things. Um, oh, so I was like thinking like, what was I talking about? Another hobby I got really into, um, that I haven't spent too much money on just yet, but I'm like, I should be hitting with this actually. What am I doing? Um, But one of the hobby I kind of like really got into, but I haven't spent like that much money on just yet, is bookmaking. So and when I was in college, I took a bookbinding class, which like taught you how to like bind a book from hand, like the paper and everything, like stitching it, like all that stuff, right? Um, and so the first year I got into it, I took the class online because it was during COVID. And it just sucked. Like they had to mail us like all the materials for the course, and I don't know, it just wasn't fun. Like taking class like that online, just like you don't feel like you learn anything. You don't feel like productive or anything. The classes through Zoom was like really boring. So I didn't really get crazy into it. I think I got more into it once the class actually finished because then I did a lot of my own research, like on my own time. Um, and then, um, is there a chest here? Oh, there is. Um, oh my god, I'm just finding so many things. Um, but yeah, and then I took the class again, like, but in person, because thankfully, like, the next year they were like, okay, we're opening up the campus again, stuff like that. Um, I took the course, like, in person, and it was really fun. And I don't know, like, bookmaking is really like, it's kind of weird getting into it at first because it just like it's a long process, and it's one of those things of like it's not something you would expect people to like kind of like learn either. Um, but it's really fun. Like, ooh, um, like I'm trying to think of some things I was able to learn. Like we learned everything from like regular like stitching like for books and everything to like some pretty intricate ones. So now it's kind of like my cool thing when people come into like my apartment or anything. I'm just like, and they look at my books. They're like, "Oh, did you make those?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did." You know, it's like my little like I can show it off kind of stuff. Um, oops. I really like also teaching people how to like bookmake or like bookbind because I don't know. I think it's really fun. Um, oh my god, I'm gonna die here. I'm totally gonna die. No. See, this is what I get for like not making a home. Oh my god, I cannot. Like, I think Gundams are for sure one thing I'm never gonna get into. I see how much people spend on Gundams, and that's scary. Um, I don't know. So I've never watched Gundams, but like the kits look fun, and I do want to get into it. Like at least build one day, but I don't know. Like the kits look so expensive, and like I don't know, I have one friend who's like into it too, and I know he spent like a decent amount like building them, and but he's like really passionate. So I'm like, okay, well if you're really passionate, right, like go you, right, like you like it's good. It's an investment for him because he's into it. But I just feel like, oh, if I buy a kit to make a Gundam and I'm not like crazy into Gundams, like I don't know, like I feel like not that I'm wasting money, but like it like maybe that time should go to like a different hobby or something, you know. I when I did to go to the Japanese like bookstore on my trip, they did have like a giant like replica of like a Gundam. And it was like not like giant, but it was pretty large. I think it was like about 6, maybe 7 feet tall. It was kind of cool, but they had like a poster of, or like a, not a poster, they had like a cutout of like One Piece in front of it. So it looks like they're advertising the Gundam as like a One Piece thing. um, that's gonna hit me. But yeah, I think one day I would like to build a Gundam, at least with someone. I think I don't know. So I don't know much about Gundams either, and I kind of want to learn. I've had some people recommend like the animes and everything. Um, actually, I got into like an argument with like a friend recently in regards to like mech animes. Oh, I'm gonna die. Um, like I think he. So I think my friend was saying like oh Code Geass like sucks because it's not a good mech anime, and I'm like, well, Code Geass isn't really like advertised as like a mech anime, you know. It's oh it's you know like more of like a political strategical type of anime, right? And he was just like, yeah, but like they have mechs in it and it sucks. Like I don't like the way they use their mechs. And I'm like, well, it's not meant to be a mech anime, you know. And I'm like, if you want mech, you should get into Gundam. And he just like he was like, and then I don't know, like it wasn't like quite an argument about like Gundam or anything, but it was like about mech animes, and we're like arguing like what makes something like a mech anime. Um, because I was like, okay, yeah, for sure, like Code Geass does not count, and Gundam like obviously would, right? And then he brought up. I'm trying to think what other animes he brought up. There are like a lot of them older like animes, and I forgot exactly which ones he brought up, but it was just it was like I'm trying to remember. I think we spent like a good like hour at work just like arguing about it, like what makes an anime a mech anime and what makes it a good mech anime. I haven't watched like a lot of anime recently either, so it was like really hard for me to like bring up a lot of points. And he was bringing up like a lot of like the more retro kind of stuff. Yeah, I was like telling him like because I told him like Code Geass is like just more political, and then he was just like, "Well, Gundam's really political too," and I'm like, "Yeah, but that it, still like Gundam is political and a mech, but Code Geass is just political, you know, like it has an emphasis on different things. Like it's more on like the emphasis on like the fiction and like politicalness of stuff, right? Like in Gundam, like not that I know too much about like the Gundam plot, but it's more based off like politics and like the mechs, like they go hand in hand and everything. And I don't know, like I don't know what kind of point he was trying to make. Like I think he was just in general trying to hate on Code Geass. I was like telling him like I'm a big fan of Code Geass. Um, so when he told me like yeah the anime sucks, I was like, you take that back. Like it does not suck. Um, I keep staring at this and I'm like, what's this? And there's this little cave. I know they came out I think with a new season or like a not a reboot but like a continuation of Code Geass, and I haven't like really like gone super into it, or at least like read up on what it's supposed to be. I've just seen like on Twitter like one gif of it where it's I think the female character tells like one of the guys like she gives him a command, but she doesn't use her Geass in like the regular way with like the eyes, like she's using it with her hand. And someone was like I think they said like why do all the women in Code Geass like serve cunt? Like, and they're right, you know, they just like the style is just so nice. And then people just were talking about like, well, like they have so many strong female characters, like of course they are. um but I definitely need to get into like more anime. I'm just finding random shit everywhere. I feel like I don't know, when I was younger, I don't even feel that old, but I say like when I was younger, but I feel like when I was a kid, a lot more animes had like more interesting like plots or like themes or something, and now it's a lot harder to get into stuff just because like I don't know, the story is just like I don't know, like some of the animes I see out there, the story titles just suck, or they like I think one of them was one recent one I saw was like my wife gets reincarnated as an elementary schooler or something like that, like something really weird and creepy. And people in the comments were like, "Oh no, this anime is actually like really good, and it's not like about pedophilia or something." Like, but at the same time, like, it just like why would you name it that, and like why would you advertise it as like I don't know, like it just things like that where I'm just like, oh, it's really hard to get back into anime sometimes because like I just don't know, like it's nothing feels right anymore. It's not as entertaining or as like I don't know. It's just bad. Oh my gosh, Soul Eater's so good. I think Soul Eater was one of the first few animes I got into when I was younger, and it's so amazing. Um, I never read the manga though, so I learned like later on the anime is very different from like the manga. So it's on my bucket list. At some point, I need to read it, like fully read the manga and everything. But I don't know, like Soul Eaters has such an interesting premise, like for there be meisters and weapons, and the whole thing is so good. Like, I know, so I haven't read the manga, but I know some things about it. Like, I know which characters are like villains that weren't in the anime, or like, and which characters are like good and stuff like that. And some of the plot points and everything. But ooh, I heard the samurai character has like a completely different ending too, like in Soul Eater versus in the anime, or sorry, like the in the manga versus in the anime. And I don't know, like I just need to sit down and read it. I think I haven't read a good manga in a long time, so maybe I'll start doing that. Um, let's see real quick. What can I get rid of? Let's see. I got rid of you. I guess these. You. These things. Um. But yeah, I just need to get into it. Like actually get into it. Um. I tried watching Soul Eater Not. I think was their like spinoff or something, and that one I don't know. Like I was kind of disappointed because I know it's made by like a different creator, so I shouldn't have expected like it to be like Soul Eater. Um, but I don't know. I thought it was gonna be like as cool, and it wasn't. I don't know. It had different vibes, I guess. Um, but yeah, the music too in Soul Eater is so good. Like I think all the openings, endings, like I'm genuinely a fan of. I don't think they had like a single like bad song in the anime, and all the character designs are really cool too. Um, so I feel like if anime were to go back to like being how they used to be, like that'd be great. Um, I used to be a really big fan of isekai genre, and I'm still kind of a big fan of it. Um, but I just feel like a lot of isekai anime nowadays like suck, like really bad. Um, oh my god, Fooly Cooly! I forgot about Fooly Cooly. I remember I watched it on Adult Swim when when I was pretty young, and I was so confused by what was going on. Like I have to rewatch it. Like I haven't seen it in like years, and I know they had like I think a reboot, right, or like a movie come out like not too long ago. Um, but Fooly Cooly, I remember that. Like I remember I think watching the scene where like I'm trying to remember if it's the guitar. It's a guitar that comes out of like that pimple thing on his head, right? Like I remember something weird like that happening when I was younger. Um, but yeah, like that. Those kind of animes are like really nice. Um, ooh, yay! Wait, do I need a stone pickaxe? I don't remember if I do or not. But yeah, I'm trying to think what other like really good animes there were back then. Um, actually, okay, not a good anime, but I do remember. I don't know if you guys ever watched Vampire Night when you guys were younger or anything, but I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't hate so much on like modern anime because like Vampire Night sucked like really bad. I remember being so into Vampire Night and being like, "Oh, this is so amazing! I love Zero, favorite character." I was like so invested until like the end of the anime. And spoiler, in case anyone hasn't finished watching it or anything, but like when they reveal that fuck, what's her name? Yuri, I think is her name, right? When Yuri is like Kaname's like long lost sister, whatever the fuck it is, I'm like, no fucking way. This is an incest anime. I was so mad. I was like, I did not just watch this whole fucking anime to find out that this guy has been in love with his sister this whole time. And like it just ruined it for me. And I was also like, I don't know, because she wakes up after her like coma or whatever it was. I think when she like realizes she's like a vampire and like she has like long hair all of a sudden, and like she's like, oh, I'm a vampire and this is my brother and stuff like that. Like it just ruined it all for me. I was like, what? Like this shit sucks. And I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't hate on like new animes that. And it sucks because the story, for the most part, like, it didn't suck, like, in general. It was, like, okay. It was, like, average, I would say. It had interesting characters, I think, and like an interesting world setting. But just the ending was like, oh, like I genuinely do not remember at all like how the actual anime ends, because all I remember thinking is like he's in love with his sister, like, and being so disgusted. Um I'm trying to think of other animes I've watched. I was really into Ouran High School Host Club too, when that was coming out. Um, and what's another one? I'm trying to think of like older stuff I'd watch. I watched Helsing. Helsing was so good. Um, Honestly, I got so. Oh, I did not watch Angel. Well, actually, no. Okay, I'm lying. I watched half of Angel Beats, but I couldn't cry because like most of it had already been spoiled for me at that point, and so like I kind of knew everyone's stories and like all that stuff. I think the only person I actually cried for was like the first episode. I think it's the first episode or maybe the second one with the girl who's in the band, because like no one really ever told me about like her story. But I couldn't really cry because I just knew everyone's like all their stories, their backstories, and like all the sad stuff like it was spoiled for me. So I was kind of like, okay, like that's sad, I guess. Moving on. um, I did. Ooh, actually, no. An anime that made me really cry was Clannad. I don't know if you guys have ever watched that one. That one made me bawl my eyes out. I remember staying up. I think I was in middle school watching it. So I think I was in middle school watching it on YouTube in like 3 parts, like the way anime should be watched. Like, I remember staying up till like 3 or 4 a.m., like crying my eyes out watching Clannad. Um, and just like oh that anime tore me apart. It was so sad. um I can't like watch it without crying sometimes. Even the ending is so just like oh my god, like it's literally like rips my heart in half. um what else? There was like other ones. I think I'll make my home here. There's like 2 beehives right next to each other, and I feel like that's a good omen. um what are some other classic animes? Maybe not classic, classic, but, you know, like older ones. Um, oh, I got into this one called Fruits of Grisai. I think that's what it's called. Um, and that one was interesting. Like, I don't know how to feel about it. I think there's like, it was weird. I don't remember too many of their stories. I just remember one girl story. Because also like one of those like anime based off like a dating sim, so all the characters have like tragic backstories you have to get into. um and I think one of the characters had to get like her tragic backstory is that she was traumatized because she was stranded in the woods after getting into like an accident with like a bus she was in, and people like start eating each other and some other stuff. I think she's like the only survivor. It was weird. I just remember watching like one episode and it had to be censored because like she was like doing dirty stuff to herself on the main character's bed. And I just remember watching this being like, what the fuck? Like, and I was watching with one of my guy friends and he was like really into it, obviously, because you know, and I was just like, what the fuck are we watching? Like, it was weird. um Oh, I used to know so many like. Oh, actually, okay. Another one I like love so bad is Darker Than Black. I don't know if you guys watched Darker Than Black, and like I'm so mad. I've tried rewatching that, but like, yeah, old anime was just so casually like lewd. Like they just really did not care. Like, I think I don't know if it's worse now or if it's just like a lot more noticeable now versus like back then. Like I think maybe because like anime had the stereotype of being like, oh, all anime's hentai, so we just didn't care as much. And but now like now that everyone watches anime, right? I guess like everyone notices it more. But no, yeah, anime back then was just like crazy. It was just on a complete different level. Um, but yeah, I've tried rewatching Darker Than Black, because that one, I don't know, it has a really interesting like world and like premise, and like I don't know, the characters were cool. Like I really love that the anime, and I went on Crunchyroll. I remember originally watching it on Crunchyroll, and Crunchyroll was like, "Oh, we don't like have that anymore." And then I was like, "Well, maybe Funimation." Funimation didn't have it, and then I went to YouTube, and YouTube like, so YouTube says you can like rent it or like buy it on there, but there's no option to actually do it, which is weird because it's like you can click on it and it says like, oh, click here to buy, right? But when you go on it, there's no actual option to like do any payments. And so then I went on like Google and I like searched up like, why does no one have like this anime on their platform? And it turns out it's just that the anime is so old, and it's not even that old. But I guess the anime is so old and has such a small fan base that like no one wants to buy the commercial rights for it because it's just not going to make any sort of money. So it's just like sitting there. And I realized that apparently that's very common for a lot of animes. Like if they just don't have a big fan base and they're like older, like 10 years old or something, they're just not going to be on any sort of platform. And I think that sucks so bad. And I don't know, like, because like I know I could watch it illegally on like some other like website, but I feel like it's hard to find a good website for myself at least. Like I haven't watched like because I have Crunchyroll, right? So I just usually watch it on Crunchyroll. But I haven't watched on like any other website, so I don't know where to go to, and I'm like paranoid of clicking links because I'm like, I don't know, I'm scared of getting like a virus or something. And I don't know, I just like I feel so bad. Like there's a bunch of animes out there that are like losing the like don't have a platform to be viewed on or anything just because people like don't watch it enough. Like I don't know, it just sucks. I'm trying to think of like what else. Future Diary, so I haven't finished watching it, but I think I know how it ends. And I don't think it was bad at the time it was coming out. I think it was kind of cool when it was first coming out. I know everyone was like obsessed with Yuno. Like everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, she's like the ideal wife." um but no, yeah, like I think cause I was like watching it recently with one of my friends. Um and I didn't realize like how fucking like crazy she is. Like I knew she was crazy, right? But then as I'm like watching it like now with like my new like modern eyes, I'm like, this bitch is fucking insane. I don't know how this guy like I don't know how she convinced him to like stay with her for like as long as he did. Like I don't know, like she's crazy. Um Even like I don't know, all the characters are crazy. I'm just like, how are you all psychopaths? Even like the kid. I'm like, what? Like, why especially you are crazy? You're a child. You shouldn't know. Like, I would understand if the kid didn't know like right from wrong, but no, like the kid was just crazy too. Like, I don't know. Like, maybe it's just people are a little crazier in Japan or something. um, I'm doing a thing where like if I talk while I'm like playing Minecraft, I just kind of end up jumping around and like not actually doing anything. Um, I'm gonna throw this in here. Where is it? And this. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, there's like just random like acts of terrorism in the anime too, and like I don't know, it was crazy. Everyone in that fucking anime is like insane. Like they they all have some sort of mental disorder. Um, they need to get checked. um, I'm trying to think like it definitely is a good horror anime, I think. Oh my god, Gurren Lagann. I haven't watched that in so long. That's crazy. Like, definitely 7. Like, I'm trying to remember. I remember still going to like anime conventions and like people still cosplaying them. And now I feel like if you bring that up, like bring that anime up to like anyone, like most people who like watch anime nowadays like won't know like the anime or at least the characters from it, which kind of like crazy because like that was such a big anime like for a long time. Oh my god, a village. I'll be back. I'll be back from my base. Um, I remember. So I don't know if you guys know the webcomic called Homestuck, but one of the characters like they have the same glasses that oh my god, what's his name? Kirima? No, that's the wrong name. I'm trying to remember his name, but the guy with like the pointy glasses. Um, oh my god, I totally forgot his name. I'm blanking. But in Homestuck, where like one of the main characters like has those glasses, and like, and it's just don't say bucket. No, okay. For context, for Homestuck, a bucket and Sharpies, like the some of the characters in Homestuck have like gray skin. That's like they're aliens. And so what a lot of cosplayers would do, okay, well not a lot, but there are known instances where like people would take like baths in like Sharpie ink to get their skin gray, which is like, kind of obviously like not a good idea, but people would do it because they'd be like, oh yeah, this would get me like to get gray skin and not have to worry about like primer or anything like, and obviously people got sick from it, right? But they would do that, and then I don't want to get into buckets. Buckets is another conversation, but it's just disgusting. But anyways, yeah, I remember Gurren Lagann being like so big, and now like no one ever talks about it. um, I'm trying to think of other animes. I feel like there's so many out there, and I just can't remember any of them. Like I'm blanking on them. Yeah, like Homestuck is just so I was okay. Horrible confession, but I was really into Homestuck when I was in middle school. I think for the most part, I think it was middle school, and I don't know, like I think it's such a different time back then of like Tumblr being really popular. Like I was into like all like the really cringy fandom kind of stuff. Um, like I was really into like Hitalia and Homestuck and like Doctor Who and Sherlock, like that kind of stuff, right? And I don't know, just being like it's just like such a different time because like people nowadays don't really know how cringy it was to be like, yeah, I'm into Hitalia, I'm into Homestuck. But it's like a little like badge of like shame that I wear of like, oh yeah, I was into that like back in the days. I think sometimes like every once in a while on my TikTok, like on my feed, I will get like people like bringing up like those old like fandoms, and I'm just like, oh my god, like why are people still into this? Are they still like are people really trying to keep this fandom alive? Like let it die. Like it's cringy. I'm gonna steal one of these beds. Oh no, he's on me. Um, let's see. My Hero, I feel like it started as such a good anime, and the fandom just totally killed it. Like it was so good, and it was just so good, and then now it's one of those fandoms of like people, if you tell someone like, oh, I'm into My Hero, they like look at you a little weird. um there's this guy on TikTok, and I'm trying to remember like what his name is, but what he does, he goes on live and like he cosplays like a My Hero character and like voice acts them. He usually voice acts Deku and Bakugo, and he'll like, for example, like one of his streams is he had like two different color slimes, like one of them was red and one of them was green, and he like slammed them against each other to make like a specific sound, a specific lewd sound, and he was like role playing like the act, like voice acting and everything like on stream, And I'm just like, I don't know, like that kind of shit. I'm like, he has no shame, and people watch that, like whether it's like ironically or unironically watching that like for entertainment. I'm just like, what the fuck? And I feel like it's one of those few things that like only the My Hero Academia like fandom can do. Oh my god, like yeah, it's just I don't know, like I don't know how the fans can just do that, and it's weird because like most of the fans are like kids too, and I'm like you're watching that like you're I don't know, like it's just I don't know. I mean, I can't say it wasn't like that back in the day. 'Cause I know there's definitely like they're like the own. There's like a group of like fandoms, right, who had like young fan bases with like like topics that like shouldn't be, discussed for like young fans and everything. But I think it just sucks more because like everything is so like on the internet and like viral and everything that like it's just kind of in your face and just like oh my god, like this is like disgusting. Like this is cringy. Um, I think about like I don't know, like I'm just like what are those people gonna do like in the future when like they have to apply to a job and like their internet history comes out, like their digital footprint, and the employers are like, oh, we see here that you role played two teenage anime characters doing the dirty on live on TikTok in front of thousands of people. Like, how's that conversation gonna go? Like, like I don't know. Um, I think like yeah, I think the access was also definitely way easier too back then. I think it wasn't like as known, but it was like I think it was one of those things where like oh like unless you know about it, you're like you won't like if you don't know about it, you won't get into it. But if you know about it, like it's easy to get kind of stuff. Um, like I don't know, the internet was also just crazy back then. Like the amount of like like unlimited access you had to a lot of things back then was like crazy. Um, I think there was like the fact that so many things were so unregulated too is just I don't know, like sometimes I think about it and I'm like, wow, like people really just did whatever they wanted on the internet back then, and like they could post whatever they wanted. They like nothing was really regulated for the most part. Um, like I'm trying to think of like, because I know I got into things I wasn't like supposed to get into as a kid. Um, I think being in like like into anime too, like back in the day with like old like the older internet and everything. Um, like I'm trying to think exactly. I don't know if either more anime back then was lewd or if like more anime back then that were popular was kind of lewd. Um, but at least like things that would come up on YouTube, like YouTube back then like was crazy, right? Because YouTube had like no real moderation or anything, so like you could just post something and like anyone can watch it, right? And I think I do remember watching like a bunch of like just crazy clips of like different animes and stuff like on YouTube and just being like, oh wow, like I can just watch this. Um, and like I think it was kind of like maybe not normalized, but like that was like the culture too. Like, oh, if you wanted like I know like at cons there was like yaoi paddles and like stuff like that, like if you wanted to get into the anime culture, like that's the kind of stuff you had to be like okay with, like yaoi paddles or like lemon stuff if you like read fan fiction, like definitely a lot of yaoi and yuri like stuff everywhere, like like dojins and stuff. Like bruv, I'm 7 years old. it, I think I watched like an izaya like a thirst trap when I was like I'm trying to remember, like I think I was watching a bunch of like thirst traps when I was like 10, being like, oh my god, yeah, like I totally get what I'm watching. And it just I remember like reading like fan fiction and like reading like really like lewd dojins at like 11, and me being like, wow, I'm so smart, I know like sex education, like I know exactly how all this works. And then now I'm looking back and I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, like I should not have been looking at that. And now on YouTube, you have like options to say like, this is for children, this is not for children. Not that it's still, not that it always protects them, but you know, like, it's interesting just how like the internet has changed. Fanfiction was like crazy. I remember back then like fanfiction.net being really popular to use. I remember it was fanfiction.net and then Archive of Our Own had just recently came out. I don't remember when, but I remember like first getting on the site and I was like, "Oh, they're like really cool." Um and then I don't know if you ever used it or like knew about the site. I used Quizilla, which was like a Nickelodeon ran website for like teenagers. It was specifically meant for teenagers, and it was like a quiz site where like, oh, like which vampire are you from like Twilight or something, right? Like something dumb, right? But they had like options to like post journals or stories and stuff, and so a lot of people use that as like a fan fiction site. Um, and so um, I remember using Quizilla. I think fanfiction.net, Archive Our Own, and there was another one. There was oh, I'm trying to remember which other one there was. I think Quotev does predate Quizilla. I think it does. I think it was older. I'm trying to remember. There's so many old sites back then. I like sometimes wish some of these were still up. I know there's I so one time I wanted to see like if I could maybe pull anything up from like Quizilla to see if I can find anything like that I might know, and I think there is like um an archivist like thing for keeping old like internet files pretty much. Um and I forgot what it's for, like oh what it was called and everything. But I do remember like scrolling through and like seeing like pretty much like screen caps of like the site and everything, like when it was in its prime and stuff like that. And it was crazy because like some of the links still worked. Like not obviously not everything, right? But like some of the links worked and like it would reroute you to like the specific fan fictions the post we're talking about or like whatever it was, right? And I don't know, like I think rereading some of the things too, like like I remember looking at it and being like, I read this, like, and I enjoyed it, but now I read this and I'm like, this shit sucks. It reminds me of like the quality of like I don't know if you remember like Yowie hands, like the meme of like how a lot of like artists back in the day would like draw like generally good art, but like it was always like the hands or like the mouths or the eyes that were like really disproportionate, and like like I would say like that kind of quality of art is almost like the quality of writing, like where I don't know, like I can almost see the shitty art in my head as I read the shitty like fan fiction. God, like anime is so crazy. Like yeah, like they always looked really weird and like kind of creepy. Like I don't know. um, I'm like trying to think. Too. Oh my god, I just remember about this old one. Old manga. I don't know. I think it was an anime. Like yaoi anime called Junjo Romantica. I don't know if you ever like got into that or anything. My sister was like really into it for like a hot second. And I think it was either my sister or my cousin. I just remember someone when I was younger was like really into it, and all I know is it was like a kind of steamy yaoi like anime. Um, and I don't know, like why, like I'm like thinking about it, like why were we into this stuff when we were younger? Like why was this the thing that we got into? I remember after like Junior Romantica, like there was like Oh, there was like another yaoi one that got like really popular. I'm trying to remember. I know later on came on like things like Dramatical Murder, which I never got into, but I had a lot of friends that did, and I don't know, it just seemed a little intimidating, I would say, for me to get into. Um, yeah, like that. I don't know. That stuff's crazy. Like thinking about it, like oh my god, like we watched that, we enjoyed it. um, what am I doing? I'm like I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just like running around literally. Yeah, I haven't gone into Berserk, and I really want to, but I know it's gonna be sad. So like, I think I've been avoiding like low key Berserk just because I know like, oh, this is gonna like hurt me. There's like a bookstore like right next to where I work, and they have like massive copies of like the Berserk books, and I want to like buy one really bad one day, but I'm just like, oh no, like it's gonna like hurt. It's gonna suck. I know it's in general like really sad, just because like all the tragedies and stuff like happen in Berserk. It does. And Berserk does look really good. I know Guts, the main character, and he has like that giant like sword, and I just want to know like how he wields it. Like that's a massive sword. Also, yeah, like like I remember hearing that the Berserk artist died, and everyone was so mad because they're like, how's the story gonna end now?" Aw, the struggler. No, yeah, like, because I know his story is just full of tragedy, right? It's just a lot of like, oops, it's just a lot of like, betrayal, tragedy, like stuff like that. Like, and I don't know, like, I don't know if I haven't like the heart in me to like get through that. I watched like a couple videos that talk about it too, just like in general, like some of the things he has to go through, and I don't know, like, I don't know if I can torture myself. Like, I know it's a good read, and I know it's like the characters are great, the story is good, like the art's amazing, but I'm like, oh, like I want to go through that. Yeah, I don't know. I think characters who only suffer, like, I need to I need like a break. Like, I can't have a character that doesn't ever like win. You know? Yeah, that's what I'm scared of getting into Berserk. I'm like, I can't really do that. Like, I don't have it in the heart. Like, like I've watched some pretty sad like anime before and everything, but it's like I don't know. I feel like I'd get too exhausted reading Berserk. Oh, there's a villager down there. Oh, it's the village idiot. Oh, he's trapped down there. Let me see if I can get him out. It's not cope, I swear. I don't know, bud. It sounds like you're coping. um, I kind of feel like, cause I have watched some like really like depressing stuff before. Like I watched what's it called? Devilman Crybaby, like the new one that came out like a few years. I say new one, but it came out like I think a good like 5 maybe 6 years ago. And oh my god, you're like stuck. I'm just gonna keep punching it. um, but yeah, like Devilman Crybaby, like I loved the first half of it, and then I hated the second half of it. I think once things are going downhill, like it's just hard for me to like watch. Um, on Christmas Eve, no. That anime, it was so hard. Like, I think literally starting from like episode 6, like, just like, I think, yeah, just starting from episode 6, things just start going like downhill. And it was just, oh my god. Like, I remember being in, like, I think I was in college at the time. And I remember like being in the library, like studying, oh, quote unquote studying, but I was like watching it too as I was studying for my classes. And I would like be watching like Devilman Crybaby and just being like, that didn't just fucking happen. That's no fucking way. And like, I don't know, like the first half of the anime is kind of like haha funny a little, like, oh cool, he's this devil man. And I've never watched like the original devil man, so I didn't really know what I was getting into. And by the second half of the anime, I was just literally like, I think by the end of it I was just a broken person. I was like, they did not just do that, they did not just like, spoiler, like they did not just like kill every single character in this anime, like including the main character. Like I don't know, like I told my friends, like I told all my friends who had watched it, like it's one of my least favorite animes, and still to this day it's one of my least favorite animes, just because like how like depressing it is. And so many of my friends are so mad. They're like, oh, you just don't get it, you just don't understand, like there's so much symbolism and meaning behind it and you just don't want to get it. And I'm like, okay, no, I get it, like I understand there's meaning behind it, but it put me through so much emotional turmoil. I just do not enjoy it. Like, it is an anime I can watch once and never again. I think like, I don't know, like the scene where I think the brother starts turning into like a demon. I think he's turning into a demon. I forgot. I remember he becomes really like disformed, and like he pretty much becomes like unsavable. When that part hit, I was just like, oh no, like this anime is not gonna be like, this anime is not gonna get better, and it really did get worse. Like all the horrible things you could think of like happened. Yeah, the scene with the dad, and just like, oh my god, like everything was awful. And then I think when everyone finally like breaks into the home too, like I think in the last episode or second to last episode, when they all break into the love interest like into her home and they kill her and everything, and they have like all their heads on pikes and everything, like, oh, like I don't know, like maybe I'm weak, but like I just can't handle that kind of stuff. I was just like, oh, like it just hurt. And then what other scene? There's like so many painful scenes. And then like I think I watched a clip of like the original Devilman, and why do I run? The whole race too, like I couldn't, so the race scene, like I couldn't really like get super into it, just because like the animation of the characters actually running like made me laugh. So I couldn't like quite take like the seriousness of it, because like it was, I don't know, the animation of them running was just funny, like the super crazy long legs and arms and the small bodies, just like but I think I watched like an original clip of like the original anime, and I think that was even more bleak than like the remake. Like I think at the clip that I had saw from the original was like the little brother being like, oh my god, like Akira, or I think Akira is the main character's name, right, or something like that, like Akira's in trouble, I have to go save him. And he starts like yelling out for his sister, and then as he runs into the halls, like he gets got pretty much by like a crossbow. And that threw me off. Like I had never seen anything about the original Devilman, and I think watching that like clip, like I don't know, I literally had to put my phone down and be like, okay, that's enough of the internet for the day. Like I'm done. But I don't know, it's just, yeah, like I can see how it's bleak. I like from that one clip that I watched, I was just like, man, like I don't know how people genuinely watch this for like fun. Like it just seems so like hard to watch. Um Everyone's coming in here. Get out. This is my bed. Wait, are they doing it? Did I turn around? Blair Witch style. I'm just gonna stare at the corner. I don't know, maybe I just like, I think maybe I'm kind of desensitized to some things and some things I'm not, because like I watched Higurashi When They Cry with no problem, and like, and that's kind of dark. That's, well, not even kind of, that one's pretty dark, and I had like no problems with that one. Um, but there's just like some things like I just can't watch. I don't know why. Like there's just like maybe it's like the animation or the like the way characters like die or like the gore or something. Because like animes like Elfen Lied and like Higurashi, like stuff like that. Like I'm okay with, but like for example, like Blood Sea, I can't watch Blood Sea. Like I think it's called Blood Sea. Like the gore in that is just too like I think the way the characters die is way too like gruesome for me. Like I don't know, like oh, like like thinking about some of the clips, I'm just like I can never watch the anime. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to think of like other ones. There's so much fucked up anime out there. I know there's even like one anime about like I don't remember what it was called, but I know it's like this like angel girl who is like living with this dude, and every time the guy accidentally does something like inappropriate to her, like oh touch her like breast or like look up her skirt or something, she like hits him with this like hammer that has like spikes and nails and stuff like that. And I remember being very like gory because they like animate all the guts and everything coming out. But then she's like, oh haha, like I'll just like revive you, and that's what she does. She revives him every single time, and that's supposed to be like the running gag in the anime. And I forgot what it was called. I just remember it's like an older anime with like the main girl is like an angel. Um and just like I don't know why anime was so gory back then. Like it's I know some anime still is, but I think it was just like, way more common for there to be like gore in like anime back then. I think so. I think yeah, she either had like white hair or she had like purple hair. It was something. It was like a light color if I remember right. Um, and I think the dude, like the main character, was like a typical like main character looking guy, like short brown black hair or something with um like he would wear things like it's like a basic like t-shirt and shorts and stuff like that. Um, I don't remember what it was called. I just remember like my friend being really into it and like showing me like, oh, isn't this so funny? And I'm just like, I guess kind of. Um, I'm trying to think what else, like other things. There's like a lot of dark animes. On my Twitter, I keep getting recommendations of like people being like, oh, threads of like gore and stuff like that in anime. Yeah, it was like a Monster Musume type pro tag, pretty much. I hate, I hate that. Like, that's the general pro tag, like concept is just this guy with like he looks the same in every fucking anime. It's just some guy with like usually like a middle part or side part hair, brown or black hair. Like he usually even wear glasses. Like just wears like a t-shirt and shorts or something or jeans maybe, and they don't have anything cool about themselves. Um, like it's always the same thing. None of these characters ever look like I don't know. Like these never look interesting. And I know the reason why the characters aren't supposed to look interesting. So like it's because people want to put themselves in their shoes, so they look as plain as possible, so people are able to like see themselves in that person's position. But I don't know, as a viewer too, I'm just like, I want something more to this character versus just him being like, oh, I'm just a regular guy who somehow ended up being in a relationship with like 20 women who all love me for whatever reason, even though I have no skills, talents, or anything. I remember one time someone telling me even that like the reason why like in like dojins and stuff like that, why like the fat bastard trope is really popular is because like people who are into like gross things per se like tend to fit that trope and everything, and it's meant for people who like can put themselves in that self insert when they can't put themselves in like the typical self insert like trope. And I think that kind of like I don't know, that felt icky too because most people are at least most like fat bastard like like dojins that have that like are usually kind of like disturbing or like gross. Like they're just I don't know like I think there's so many problems with, with anime or at least the self insert types. I think the only one that actually no, there was like one anime where I was thinking where I was like maybe it's okay, but no, like most animes are like with that type of character, it's kind of boring. Yeah, it's just weird. Or I hate like the tropes too, where it's like, oh, I'm like 3,000 years old, but like I have the appearance of like a child or something. Like I'm actually a full adult, but I look very underage. Like I don't know, that stuff like is so weird. I feel like that's one of the reasons why like it's harder for me to get into anime now because like yes, fucking Seven Deadly Sins. I literally could not get into that anime. I tried so hard to get into that, like so hard. Because I had friends telling me that it was like really really good, that I should like watch it, give it a try, and the main character is so annoying. I just could not get into it. The main character is annoying. The female like the I think the love interest, the girl with gray white hair, I think I don't remember her name. Not that she was boring, but she just kind of like didn't have much going on in the first few episodes, and they put too much emphasis, I think, on like the main character. Um, and none of the cool characters get introduced until like a little later on. So it was so hard to hook me, and I don't know. Like there's some characters that I really want, like I want to get into the anime so I can like watch the characters. Like I'm blanking on his name, but the guy with like white hair, with red eyes. I think it's he has like a short name, I think. I'm 1,000 years old, but I look 10. Like that shit sucks. Like just have kids be kids in anime and don't make them all weird and everything. There was like he's a lolicon. Don't tell me that. Stop. Don't tell me that. No. Why does every anime man I love have something wrong with them? There's like I'm trying to think of what other like animes kind of sucked. Oh, the lolly wife. No, you're lying. You have to be lying. Please lie. Please tell me you're joking. Oh, that sucks. I just saw like one video of him on TikTok too. It was like kind of like a thirst trap kind of video. Not like a thirst trap, but like one of those like definitely like you know, uh I think edits is what people call them. And I saw that and I was like, oh, this character was cool. That sucks. That just ruined me. um oh, one anime that I was so mad that did that trope also was Gate. I don't know if you ever watched Gate, but it's the one where it's like the Japanese military goes into like a different world. Um and one of the main girls is Rory Mercury, and she's also like the trope of like, oh, I have the body of like a 10-year-old, but I'm actually like so many thousand years old and everything. And I hate it because I think she's genuinely such a cool character, but I just hate that she's a child. Like, because she's also the most um, like promiscuous, I would say, kind of character. Like, she's like always trying to get at like the main character and go on dates with him and all that kind of stuff. Like, she's a lot less like sneaky about it. She's kind of like more like outright with it. And I hate it. 'Cause I'm like, oh, you're a child. Like, stop. Like, at least age her up to be like maybe at least barely 18 or something. Um, but it sucks like I said because she's like such a cool character too. Like her story and like her like design and everything. I just like I hate it. I remember I remember I just remembered there was this anime that I used to watch as a kid called Shugokara. Um yeah, I also hate super pervy characters too. Like that's disgusting. Like Speaking of Roshi, you just reminded me. I went to a con one time, and I remember there was like a hentai booth, and some of my friends were like, "Oh, if we go inside this hentai booth, even if we don't buy anything, um, like if we walk out, the guy of the booth will like give us like if we pay $1, he'll give us like like a hentai like photo card, pretty much, right?" And so my friends like we all went in, and I think one of them bought some things, right? And then we went out, and then like we all paid $1, and then I opened up my card that I got, and I was hoping it'd be like at least a character I like or something, but no, it was like Roshi, like, and like I cringe thinking about the art, like it's so disgusting. It's like him licking. Actually, no, I'm not even gonna describe it. It's so bad. It's literally so horrendous, and I hated it so bad. And I wanted to trade with my friends so bad because they got like cool characters I really liked, and I was like, please, like I don't want this pervy card. And they were like, no, you pulled it pretty much, like it's your card. So I have this like disgusting card of him like somewhere, and it's just like I hope one day no one ever finds it in my home. But yeah, I don't know what's up with like pervy characters. Like a lot of times they're not funny either. It's just kind of like uncomfortable. Like, oh, you're just gonna assault this character for fun? Like, weird, you know. Um, he doesn't have anything cool. Um, but oh, I was the anime I used to watch as a kid, Shugakara. Um, I didn't notice this when I was younger because I watched this anime when I was like in elementary school. It's like a children's type of anime. It's like a magic girl one. Um, and like the main character, she has a love interest that's like her age. He's like in her grade, and then she has another love interest with a guy who. So I didn't realize how young she was in general. She's I think a fifth or sixth grader in elementary school, and then the other love interest, the second one, is like in high school, I think, or something. Yeah, they have like little mini heads, like little chibis and everything, right? Yeah, like the second love interest, which is like the bad boy, he's in high school, and I didn't realize this. Like, I didn't know that like there was such a giant age gap. I think until like um until I rewatched it. I think when I was like in middle school or like early high school, and I was like, there's no way like there's this age gap. Like she's a child and this is like a teenager, and I don't know, like it's just crazy how like these little like things get like glossed over in animes. And I don't know, I like think about it sometimes, like, and I remember as a kid being like, oh, I hope Amu, like the main character, like I hope Amu gets with Ikto, like that'd be so cool, they deserve each other. And now I'm just like, that's a child. Like, you stay away from her. She's protected. And like, I don't know, there's too many instances like that in anime. Um, I'm trying to think too. Yeah, she's like a literal like fifth grader, like, and he's like 17 or something. I think someone said in the manga the age difference isn't that bad, but I might be wrong. I don't remember if it was that anime specifically they're talking about or not. Um, but yeah, like, it just sucks. Like, oh man, like that just ruined a little bit of the anime for me. I know they're gonna be like either a remake or reboot coming out like hopefully soon. I keep hearing people talk about it, and I don't know if they're gonna like gloss over it or if they're gonna like change the ages maybe, or like what they're gonna do, or if they're gonna keep the ages maybe. Um, yeah, like that's just like crazy. Like, um, I'm trying to think of like other stuff that I used to watch. I used to be like a giant anime fan, and now I just can't think of like any like titles on top of my head. Like, ooh, my god, I almost jumped into that. Um, are there any horses? No. A cat. Wait, I have a fishing rod. I'm going fishing. Um, or should I go mining? Um, yeah, I'm trying to think of other things. I have noticed that like I know I'm kind of still new in like the VTuber scene, but like following some people on like Twitter and stuff, like other VTubers, I like noticed that there's some people who also have like for example, they'll have like a model of like a very young looking like model, but then they'll be like a lewd tuber or something like that. They're or at least they'll like advertise themselves like a lewd tuber, and I don't know. I feel like that's really uncomfortable. Like I don't know. Like I don't really. I try not to say too much about it, especially like at least tweet about it, like or anything. But like that kind of stuff is weird. Like I was a little nervous when I was making my model because in real life I'm really short. I'm like 4'10", 4'10.5 on a good day, you know. um, but and so I'm like, okay, I want to make my character look like small, but not like childlike young. But there are like people out here who have like their models look like a literal like 10-year-old, and I don't know, like that feels a little weird when I see people with that kind of stuff. Um, but then I also feel bad because like, oh, I don't want to say anything because like, what if someone actually looks like that, like, and like in real life and everything? Because I know there's some like really short people too who like, um, they look really short and they just they look a lot younger for than what they actually are and everything. So I don't know. I think it's like sometimes like hard to say in like the VTuber scene. Like, oh, are you a lolicon or a shotacon, or are you actually looking like this? Like, are you actually trying to represent your like physical body? I realize I haven't like actually done any like Minecraft stuff. I've looked. I've been running around for like the last like hour or two. This. Oh, I put iron, didn't I? At one point, I did. Okay. Take this, turn to that. I'm gonna make this my home, my starter home. Oh my gosh, someone speaking. So I guess speaking about like being a VTuber now and everything. Um, at work, someone like, so I one of my friends. I told them because I try not to tell too many of my friends. Like I tell only very specific people who like I trust that I stream on the side and like I do VTubing and stuff. And one of my friends who usually keeps to himself for the most part, like he just never really like he talks to people about his own interests, but if it's not like his business, he usually doesn't say anything. He's just very like to himself kind of thing, right? Um, I told him I was like, hey, like you know, I do the streaming on the side. I'm like a VTuber. Like this is my YouTube channel. Like it'd be cool if you like supported me, but you don't have to, stuff like that, right? Um, and I showed him like my model, and I showed him like some videos I had like or like lives and stuff like that. And it was kind of about it. He didn't really ask a lot of questions or say anything, and I was like, okay, cool, right, like whatever, right? And then I think we were at like a company like it wasn't like an official dinner. We had like a bunch of us had gone out to eat like after work and everything, and so we're at this like bar like, and um, and I was like telling people like, oh yeah, like I went to this convention like recently, and it was off Kai, and so I was like, yeah, I went to this convention. Like it was kind of cool. And I didn't really go too in depth of like what the convention was, what it was for, like, or even like VTubing stuff, because like not a lot of people know what it is, especially like or my coworkers are definitely not gonna know like what it's about. And one of my coworkers goes like, oh yeah, I'm so excited to see like your avatar or whatever thing you use online. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, like your friend told me about it, like he said how you stream or something with like a cool avatar that like moves around, like that's sick, like it'd be like, I can't wait for you to show us it. And I'm like, what? And it took me off guard so bad. Like, I was like, no way, like he doesn't know about this. And it just, and I kind of stare him down, and I'm like, and I don't know, like I had this face of like, what did you just tell me, kind of thing. And then he goes like, oh, was I not supposed to say that? Like, was I not supposed to know about it? And I'm like, and I don't remember saying anything, but I remember like kind of like face palming and being like, oh my fucking god, because I don't know, not that I'm like, I just want my privacy, you know? Like, I don't want people, especially at work, to know, like, I do this. Like, I don't want any of my bosses to be like, oh, are you streaming today or something? You know, like, I don't want any of them to, like, know or care about this. I just want my friends to know at the very, like, you know, at the very most, just a couple of my friends, right? Like, whoever I trust and everything. And, oh my god, it was so embarrassing being at this, like, at this bar with all my coworkers, and they were just, like, staring at me being like, what is he talking about? Like, streaming? Like, because I rarely talk about, like, anime or anything, like with my coworkers or anything. And, like, they know I'm into, like, nerdy things, but in general, I just try to keep, like, specific things away from them, just because, like, I'm like, I don't know, I don't want, like, that reputation or anything being, like, associated with me. And I remember texting, like, my friend being like, why did you tell, like, this person? And he's like, oh, because he's my friend. And I'm like, well, yeah, but he's not my friend. And he's just like, oh, yeah, well, he's not going to say anything. I'm like, bitch, he just did in front of, like, a bunch of, like, our coworkers. And I just, like, I was, like, so mad that day. I was like, why did you think this was okay to do? So now I'm, like, paranoid, because there's, like, some other friends who, like, I've told them I plan on VTubing, but, like, I never told them I started. So they know, like, it's there. They just don't know, like, oh, I've streamed a couple times already. And I don't know, I feel bad because, like, most of my friends are really supportive, but at the same time, some of them just, like, have a big fucking mouth. And, like, and I'm scared they're gonna, like, dox me or something sometimes. And I don't know, like, that one thing that happened with my friend at work just kind of like solidified the idea of, like, oh, I shouldn't tell, like, too many of my friends. um but yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just a little funny thing, kind of like it. I was really mad in the moment, but now I'm just kind of like, okay, it's kind of funny because, like, no one's brought it up or mentioned it since then, so I'm like, okay, everything's okay, it's all fine, right? But I don't know, like, that embarrassment at the, like, the table, just being like, oh, like, it's hard. Yeah, I feel like keeping as, like, a lot of your online things separate from, like, real life is, like, really important. Like, I think even stuff like I don't even remember when the last time I posted on, like, like, I, like, on Instagram or, like, Facebook or anything. Like, I haven't used that in, like, years. um and I remember back in the day too, like, when, like, the internet was first getting really popular, to be like, don't share any personal information on the internet, like, don't, like, tell your families, like, don't share XYZ things, right, and stuff like that. And now it's, like, so easy just to share, like, your personal information, and it's, like, usually encouraged to do that. And so, I don't know, like, I feel like my online presence is pretty small, like, my social, like, online presence, at least. um and I don't know, like, I just don't ever share anything about myself at this point, like, with anyone online. So, like, get out of my bed. um is he gonna stand up if I keep pushing him? Oh no. What if I keep him from sleeping? But yeah, I think, like, I think that's one of the reasons why, like, I wanted to get into, like, VTubing was also because, like, there's that, like, idea of privacy, at least. So it just makes it a lot easier. Like, okay, well, I'm not a very, like, public person to begin with, and, like, I don't have to, like, show my face or anything. Like, it's nice. I think posting pictures of, like, clouds or stuff like that is nice. At least, like, it's very, I don't don't know. I think when you don't post about yourself, it feels kind of nice because like you feel kind of disconnected a little bit from your account in a good way of like, oh, this isn't too personal. I'm not revealing too much about myself, but I'm also showing people I'm like I'm okay kind of thing, you know? Um like I think the last thing I posted, actually no, I don't remember what the last thing I posted was. But I think lately, at least on my Instagram, in like the last like 3 years, I posted like maybe two things or something, and I think one of them was just like a picture of like a birthday cake, and like that was it. And I kind of felt like okay, that's fine. Like no one needs to know anything else. Like that's it. I'm also paranoid too that like one day someone's gonna like discover my digital footprint or something, because like I don't know, it's so easy to like trace back like people's stuff and like I don't know, like me for example, I love playing FBI. So like if someone wants to know something about someone, like I'll ask to see if like what information they already have, and I'll see if I can find like a digital footprint. And it's so easy. And I know there's people online who do it too, as like there's this lady on TikTok who I think her account is pretty much based off like finding people. Like people will post on, or like they'll comment on her like post being like, "Oh, you can't find me," and it's like a guy with like no unique like username and like a blank picture, and she's able to like figure out their identity in like an instant. And I'm like, that's scary, like for someone to be able to do that. Um, so I'm like always paranoid. Like I wonder like if someone really tried to like look at my stuff, like what would they find? I'm lost. Oh wait, never mind. I'm not lost. Oh, sorry. My I heard my two like I heard one of my cats like do a little like meow, and I turn around and they're like play fighting each other on the floor, and it's super cute. Yeah, the amount of work people will do to like dig for information on people is like crazy. I don't know, like I don't know, like I almost want to say those people have no life if like the only thing you're doing is like digging up like old tweets or old posts or something from someone, like, and it just sucks because like people could change over the years and everything, and they won't always be the person that they were when they posted something. But it's hard because like there's the evidence that you were at some point like the person that you were, if that makes sense. And like I don't know, I think the internet has just made it so scary. Um we're like, oh, like if I said this mean thing back then, or if I posted about being really into like the specific thing, like it might not look good nowadays and stuff like that. And I don't know, like that kind of stuff is just scary. Not that I have anything suspicious in my history, but in general, I think like the fact that like the internet is so like unforgiving, I guess you could say, like I think that's just insane. Yeah, like I think it sucks too if like you were a kid, you know, like posting shit, and it's like it's stupid. You know, right? Like usually as a kid, you're just posting like the dumbest things, and then like if someone were ever to look at it, like you know, you just feel like judged, even if like that post was like 10 years ago or something. um I think I cleared out like most of my old posts on like Facebook and stuff, but every once in a while like I'll get a notification being like, oh, you have this memory from like 10 years ago or something. And it's like the cringiest, worst like take I could ever like say. And I'm like, oh man, I know I've changed for sure as like a person. But like if anyone were to go through my account, they'd be like why did you post this? That's crazy just how like that works. Like, and I think it's crazy too, like the internet just constantly reminds you of it, like how like Facebook will send you reminders of like your post, or like if you have like Google Images will also like send you a bunch of reminders of like your pictures, no matter how old the pictures are. Um, and I don't know. I think that stuff's like crazy. Come like, do I want to be reminded of that? Like I don't know if I do. Oh my god, my cats are fighting like right next to me. They brought their fight to me. I haven't done anything. I've just been running this whole time. Like throws me off a little. Yeah, I feel like there should be a limit where posts like stop getting like reminded. Like I don't know, like I don't want to see a post that I made like 8 years ago or something. Like I'm a different person. That's not me. Like that's a completely different person that you're notifying. I don't know, just like those kind of reminders, or like Snapchat, or like reminders sometimes. Like I'm just like, oh, like I don't want to see that. Ooh, a horse. I wish so bad that you can just like make saddles in Minecraft and you don't have to like fucking look for them. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think what else. There's like, I feel like there's so much, and I'm like not thinking of like what I want to say. Sometimes, like I don't know. I'm kind of convinced I have like, maybe not like, if not ADHD, something maybe similar along the lines, because like there's like so many moments where it's just really hard for me to like. It's not even just keeping my focus, but like I'll have a moment where I like think about something and I have like kind of like a really quick conversation in my head about it before I actually say anything. And I was told that was not normal to do. Um like I could jump from like, for example, like if I talk to someone, we'll be talking about like topic A, and then in my head I'll go from B, C, D, E, F, G, and then the next time I talk I'm like on topic G, and people are like, what, like what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, like this is my thought process, this is how I got here. I remember I told that to one of my bosses where I was like, oh, I feel like I do have some sort of um maybe like maybe not attention disorder per se, but like some sort of like I don't know, like something along the lines, because like I do lose focus a lot because I'm like kind of lost in thought, because I'm like real quick thinking of like what I want to say. And I told my boss that, like, oh, I think I might have like something going on, and he goes, oh, you kids, all of you guys have ADHD and autism. And I was just like, what? Like what the fuck? And I don't know, I think about that sometimes. I don't know what to do. I like maybe I think next time I'm reading like patch notes to see exactly what was changed. And then there's like armadillos and like the new patch and everything, like armadillos and like the mace and everything. But you have to like, go to the trials. I don't even know what like the trials are. But I don't want to lose my home too, because I'm gonna forget where this home is. Unless I take my bed, or should I go mining first? I think I'm gonna look for like some texture packs, or like shaders maybe or something. I had a texture pack I would use on Minecraft, but it's outdated because of the new patch, whatever it's called, thingy majiggy update. Um so I need to look for some. I feel like it's really hard to like look for some really nice ones though. An autistic stare. Sometimes you just gotta stare at things and kind of like turn off your brain, you know? I think everyone has like a stare like that though. Some sort of like 1,000 yard stare or something, like just gone. Hmm. Should I go mining? Should I not go mining? I have too many things on me. I usually spend like a lot of time on Minecraft too, like making a little home. And I think the only reason why I haven't really done that this playthrough is because I'm like, I have a mission. I have to look for the new update stuff and everything, and I just haven't done shit. So I'm like, maybe I should just start making it home. I'll take um this, and I shall take the clock. I forgot I could trade with them. I was thinking like I can do stuff with these villagers, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, I could trade. I was gonna say like, I'm so dumb. In my head, I went, oh look, the mortician's over there. I'm like, wait, no, not the mortician. It's the librarian. Completely wrong, wrong job. Yeah, I think I think I remember how to get to the snow biome. I think it's somewhere over there. I think somewhere. I have like the worst sense of direction, especially in Minecraft. I don't know what it is, but like all the blocks just kind of like look the same, and I think once I start like traveling somewhere, I like get super lost, and I'm just like, where am I? Like I don't know. Like it's just so hard for me to figure out like where I'm at and like what I'm doing in that moment. I should make torches, or I just go in. I remember I used to be like so afraid of like caves in Minecraft too. I never watched like Hero Brian stuff or anything. I didn't know who he was until I think like I was in high school. I just never like watched those kind of like videos or anything. Um and but I remember like playing Minecraft by myself and everything, and I was like, I don't know, just so creepy playing on your own, cuz like you always swear you see something in the corner of your eye and stuff like that. I need to make torches real quick. And I don't know. I think once Minecraft also added like the scary cave noises and stuff like that, I'm like, oh, you fuckers! Like you guys know exactly what you're doing, and I hate this. Okay. I'll take wood. And then some coal. Oh, I'm dumb. I was like, why can't I make torches? I'm like, oh, it's because they're stole blocks. Make some of these. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I don't know how much Minecraft horror there is besides like the Hero Brian stuff, but Hero Brian is definitely like him himself is like a terrifying entity of like I've watched people like make like spooky videos of like, oh, encountering Hero Brian, right? And then obviously the video is like meant for like children and stuff. Um but like even like me, like I get scared watching them sometimes. I'm like, there's someone there, you know, like someone's like in the single world. I was like, what is a zombie? I should make a sword. I have not made a sword. I'm trying to think of like what other games like are super scary. I remember when Slender Man was like a really big thing, and I remember like watching like the games of like collecting all the papers and stuff like that. Like I don't know what it was. That stuff was like terrifying though. Where are you coming from? Is it this way? I think I hear the zombie at. Or maybe no. I hear a zombie somewhere. I do get scared like really easily like going in caves. Sometimes I get like really focused and I'm like, where's the mobs? Like I have this thing about like dying in Minecraft. I don't know why. I just really I just, I just really hate dying in Minecraft. It's like one of my I guess peeves in the game. Like if I fucking die, I'm like, oh fuck, like that just ruined it for me. um and so like anytime I'm in a cave or something, I'm just like, oh please don't die. Ooh, Marble Hornets. I love Marble. I genuinely was so scared watching it sometimes. Like me, I remember like me, my sister, and my cousin would like stay up watching that, and it was just so scary. Like I tried getting some of my friends to watch it recently, but it's like it's hard because like it's one of those things where like it's so scary back then, but like now a lot of people like don't find the interest in it and everything. And just like oh, like I can still remember like the I think it's the episode. I think it's one of the first few episodes, like where they show Slender Man, like what he is, kind of. Um, like I think he's standing outside like the front door or something of like the friend's home, and like Slender Man, like he's just standing at the front door, and then like he notices like the curtains move or something, and then he like looks over and stuff like that. And I just remember like that scene being so eerie because then like it shows like the silhouette of like him walking around like the home and everything like checking it out and stuff. I don't know, like oh that's just so creepy, like the whole thing. There's like a zombie somewhere. I'm trying to think of like other like creepy things online. I feel like horror videos used to be like a lot scarier back then. Like a lot of them now are kind of like clickbaity kind of, so it like kills like the fear factor in them. I wonder if there's a actually no, I think we're too high for there to be like a zombie um whatever it's called, the thing the little generator thing. Spawner, there we go. Oh my god. Yeah, I think it's because I don't know. I think because like analog horror nowadays have a lot more like depth maybe to it, where it's like actually no, not even depth. Like I think maybe it's just because it focuses more on like mainstream things. Like I think like Slender Man is like considered like old, like quote unquote old now. So like people are like, oh, the back rooms is so crazy, like this and that. Like there's monsters that chase you around these like floors and everything. And I don't know. I do think there's like a lot of like really scary like analog like or not even analog but like God, I hear these zombies and it like makes me scared. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get jumped. They're gonna jump me in this little hole. um, but I feel like there's like way more like creepy pasta monsters out there that like people don't make like games or stories about, and I'm just like I don't know. There's like so many good ideas out there. um like I remember like the stuff about like the rake. Like I don't know if you ever saw like the creepy pastas for like that thing, and it's pretty much like a naked like demon rat thing, not even rat, but you know like a naked human that like chases people around the woods and stuff like that. It's like super creepy, kind of like a skinwalker a little bit. And I remember the rake being like really popular for like a quick second. It was like for the briefest amount on the internet, like really well known. And I don't know, I feel like stuff like that would has like potential to be like extra creepy nowadays, but like just no one ever like really wants to pick it up. I hate that I hear all these zombies above me. I think they're above me, and it just makes me like, oh, like paranoid. Oh, is it because it's night outside? Oh, it is night. Are they up here? Old creepypastas. I don't know what it is about old creepypastas, but they're like I think they're scarier than what they are now. Like I don't know, they're just scary. Um, I think the least scary creepypasta that I can remember, at least the top of my head, is like Jack the Ripper. Like I think I used to be really scared of him, but only because like that fucking picture is like creepy. Like oh, like I don't like the picture of like Jack the Ripper. Um, but I don't think his story is like actually that scary. Like I don't think I ever like read anything or like saw anything that would maybe be like, oh my god, this is like absolutely terrifying. It was just like, oh, just some guy that kills people. Like he's just like any other psychopath. Trying to think of like other creepypastas. I didn't like really get into them, so I don't know too many. But I know there's like, I think Eyeless Jack is like another one that was really popular for a bit. Ronald McDonald House, the classic. I remember when people made so many like creepy art of like Ronald McDonald, and I hated it because it like kind of scared me away from like McDonald's for a good bit. I do always think about like the girls that were arrested for like the two girls that um like attacked and almost killed their like friend because they wanted to get like in the like Slender Man's mansion or whatever they call it or something. Um and like I don't know, like that story's like really like creepy. Um like I remember when it first happened, like hearing about it and everything, and then I've watched a video recently like that actually covers like the case of um like what happened to like that girl that got attacked and like the circumstances of like the attack and everything. And like I don't know, just think it's crazy. Like there's two girls out there that were like maybe not gullible, but like maybe gullible actually. They were just like so um like delusional, I guess, that they thought that they by killing someone would be accepted to go to like a fictional character's home or something. You know, like, I think that's crazy. I think one of the girls in that case actually recently applied to get um, to like leave the psychiatric home that she's in or something, and I think she got denied. I don't know which one it was, but that's what I read in an article recently, and I'm like, that's crazy. I need like water. I want to like fish. I don't know if I want to go mining. But I think to like find anything in water, you have to have like a specific like depth and stuff. Oh wait, never mind. There's water over here. Perfect. Let's see. I might not mine. I'll fish for a little bit, and then I think I might end the stream soon. Only because I realize it's like midnight right now. At least midnight for me. Yeah. There we go. I think running on ice is like one of my favorite things to do on Minecraft. Like, I don't know, it just feels nice. Oops. I'm gonna go to I'm gonna go to like an event tomorrow, and it's like a little far, and I hope I dress it right because it's in an area that's like usually really cold. At least for me, it's really cold. Like I get cold super easy. So I'm hoping that like I don't know. I also hate like overdressing. So I hate like going somewhere and then like it being really cold, and then like or like me thinking it's gonna be cold, so I bring a bajillion jackets, and then like it ends up being super hot, and I'm like, oh, I regret it because now I'm carrying around like all these jackets. Did the movie, did that Slenderman movie actually come out like right after the whole incident? I didn't realize that. Like that sucks. I mean, I guess it's good publicity maybe for the movie, like gets the word out, you know. But definitely sucks. Like awful timing. The conch. I'm like paranoid in my apartment because my apartment's had like a little like ant problem recently. Um, and I don't know how we have ants because like I keep this apartment clean, and like there's no food anywhere, there's nothing like dirty or anything, and they keep coming out from like the little corners of my walls, and it's so annoying like having ants. And I don't know, I have like a pest phobia because so the first apartment I ever had was like um it was like 4 years, but still too soon. Oh, I thought it was like a month after or something, not like 4 years. But the first apartment I ever owned was like roach infested, and it sucked so bad. Like I don't know, I never grew up with pests, or I never been like around pests or anything. So like it was awful, right? Like I remember so like how I got my first apartment pretty much was I used to work at like a retail store, and I like asked one of my coworkers like, "Hey, are you like?" And I felt like I knew this coworker generally well. Like we got along, we worked well, like we knew some facts about each other's like lives and everything. And I don't know, I just felt like we were good like a match and everything, right? And I was also like I think I barely graduated college at this point. Like I barely graduated, and and so I asked her like, "Hey, are you planning on like moving out of your place soon or anything? Like, I'm trying to look for like roommates for an apartment." What did I get? Ooh, ooh, a mending too. Um, I can join this later. I think with mending, right? Like, actually, let me do this. Sorry, real quick. How do I toggle it? I don't remember how to put my other hands. I'm just gonna do manually. Um, but yeah, I asked my coworker. Um, I was like, if she's like planning moving out or anything, and then she said she actually was, that her boyfriend had actually like moved into like the area recently, so she's trying to look for a place with him, and stuff like that, right? And I was like, okay, cool, um like that means like if you're like open, like I don't mind rooming with you if you want. And she was like, oh yeah, sure. And so during the apartment process, like she didn't really tell me too many like details about like, first I didn't know exactly where she wanted to live. Like I kind of had reached out and asked a couple questions like, oh, so like what's your ideal area of like living in? Like what do you want to have, like two bedrooms, or like what do you want to do? Like because we made like the three of us, right? Like her boyfriend, and myself. And so I was like, like, you know, I just like asked them questions, right? And they never really gave me straight answers or like knew exactly what they wanted. Um, and then after a while, I think after like, because I think she had told me she needed to move out by like the end of the month, and I had asked her like 2 months prior if she wanted to move together, and she had said like yes, and So I think the month for her moving out was like coming up, and I was like, "So do you have any plans?" And she's like, "Oh well, I'm looking, right." And that was it. She didn't really tell me anything else. And then finally she told me, she's like, "Hey, I'm thinking of us moving into like this apartment. Like you just need to sign the, I'm trying to remember what it was. It was like the, not the official lease for the apartment, but like signing off saying that we're interested, and that if they could please hold the unit for us while they like looked over all the applications. It was like, I forgot what the form was called, but something like along those lines, right? And so I had felt like, oh, okay, we're probably gonna get this unit then, because like, I don't know, like if we're already signing paperwork, right, then it's probably like fine. And so we submitted our credits and everything, and then we got denied. And I was like surprised we got denied, because I was like, well, I feel like my stuff is all good. Like, I don't know why would it get denied. Because they specified it was about our credit, and I was like, okay, weird. Um, yeah, it was like like a reserve spot pretty much. Um, and so then because the like my friend like was really trying to move out like ASAP and everything, she ended up signing like a lease with like this other like apartment. Actually, told me about it too. She was like, "Hey, there's like an apartment here in downtown like that we're gonna sign off on. Like let me know if you're interested. We're gonna sign up the apartment like this day." And she took a video of it too. And I think I couldn't go and actually check out the apartment with her because I think at the time I got COVID, and I was so mad I got COVID. Like I had stayed COVID free for so long, and then I got it at like the very end. Um, and so we went to go, like she showed me a video of like this apartment that she was in downtown, and it looked fine. It didn't look crazy or anything, but like it also looked like okay. Um, and so I was like, okay, well just let me know like where you want to like meet up, or how you want me to sign the papers and everything. Um, and so eventually we signed off the lease and everything. I don't remember exactly what ended up happening, but um, I moved in a couple days after they did, I think. And by that point, they had already kind of moved in all their things. They got unsettled and stuff like that. And I move in all my stuff. And already from like the get go, like once I start moving my things in, I'm like, this place is a little like dirty. Like I don't know, like it just had like a grimy kind of vibe. But I was like, okay, I'm not gonna complain. It's my first apartment, my first roommates. Like I'm not gonna like throw a fit just because it's not like perfect or anything, right? Um, and so I start unpacking like all my things. I like build all my furniture. 'Cause I bought a bunch of like IKEA things, and I think once I like open one of my boxes, I turn around to go grab something, and then when I look back at the box, there's like this little tiny like roach like sitting on it, like on this box, and I was like, and like my heart dropped. I'm like, don't fucking tell me there's like roaches here. Like, please tell me this is like a fluke, like a one time thing, right? And I was so like scared, and I have like like in general like a phobia with bugs, and like oh like I just hate bugs, right? And so like I think I ended up having to kill another one later on, like 10 minutes later, I think. And I was so paranoid. And I was like, okay, well, whatever, this is fine, right? And I texted my roommates because I think they were in their bedrooms with the door closed, and I didn't want to like disturb them, so I just texted them being like, hey, I found some roaches, ahaha, like I hope we don't see more, kind of thing, right? And then it turns out like the whole apartment was like roach infested, and the so in general my first apartment just sucked because like um because like my roommates also were trying to get their giant like husky to like stay in our unit for free, like without like a pet deposit or anything. um and because they were like, oh well, this dog is actually like our emotional support dog, so you need to let him like live with us for free or something. And of course the landlord was like, no, it's a dog, it's gonna like tear up my unit, like you have to pay at least something, like in general, I guess. Not that it said anything in the lease, like I didn't see anything specific about it, but like he said that no pets were allowed. um and so he was very adamant that like we got rid of the dog. But my roommate was like, no, this is my emotional support dog, and I need this dog, and like I will like literally kill myself like without it. And like I don't know, like I kind of looked at her like, are you joking? Because like her dog was not trained at all to be like in like support of any kind. Like her dog had like separation anxiety, and I guess she had like, I guess her dog was her family dog that she literally went back home from like this other city that she was like from and everything. She went back home, picked up her dog, brought it with her back to like our town, and was basically like, "This is my emotional support dog. I love this dog, and like I need him everywhere I go." But he had like separation anxiety, so anytime she'd go to like anywhere like work or she'd go like out or something, this dog would like freak out, and it was like a big old husky, and like, huskies are very vocal and they're very strong. So like, and like once she left his side, like it was hard for her to like, or it was hard for him to like to be contained, pretty much, right? And I remember one time they like let him like off his leash or something, or like in the bedroom, and he started like tearing shit up in their bedroom, and he started like trying to like tear down the door. And I texted them being like, "Hey, your dog is literally like about to break through the apartment door. Like, what do I do?" Because they weren't home at the time. And I'm like, "What do I do? Like, I don't want him to like cause any damage to the apartment. I don't want to lose our deposit. Like, what do you want me to do with your dog?" And they were like, "Oh, can you just like tie him up in our room?" And it's like a massive husky. And again, like how I said earlier, I'm like 4'10". I was tiny, like, yeah, she, like, I mean, I know the landlord too, like, did not believe this dog was like a support animal of any kind, because it just, not that huskies can't be a support animal, but like, it's clear to tell like when an animal is untrained, right, for any sort of thing. And I think at least if her dog was like calmer or something, she could like, even if he wasn't like a support animal, the landlord could maybe like excuse the dog for being in there. But he's like, the huskies are very vocal, they're very active, they're very like, crazy kind of dogs sometimes, right? And I don't know, like, she just thought that she could like try to get away with it. And I don't know how the landlord was like nice enough, I guess, to just never actually charge us for the dog. And I think it's just because he didn't want to like cause more problems between us, because I could tell he hated my two roommates, but he did not like, but he was okay with me. Like, every interaction I had with him, like even up until like the very very end, like he was very like nice to me, and he like talked mad shit about my roommates to me. Because eventually, like, I told my roommates, I was like, "There's roaches in this apartment and I hate living here. Like, I do not want to live here any longer." Because it just became like a point where like I would never eat in my apartment. I would like never keep anything on my floor. Like, I still had most of my things in boxes because like I was too scared that if I started unpacking and like roaches got on my things, I would never get rid of them. 'Cause I know roaches are really easy too to like transfer like homes and stuff. And so I just had that fear of like, oh my god, what if I like infest another place or something because I took all my things out of my boxes. And so eventually I just told my roommates, I was like, "Hey, there's roaches here. I hate living here. It sucks in general. Like, I don't like being in downtown. I don't like being in the specific corner." Because like we lived in like an area where it was especially bad. Like, traffic was awful, and like I think literally someone had just like passed away like not too far from us. Like, in general, it was like not a good area. Like, and I was just like, yeah, I need to leave. Like, it was affecting my mental health and everything. And at first, like, my roommates were kind of like, "Oh well, like, don't move out because like we're kind of tight on money right now. Like, it's a year lease, so I like try to stick it out for at least a year. Like, and then after that, like, we can try to figure something out." That I was like, I don't know, like, oh no, yeah, like I was so scared of roaches. Like, I know roaches are so easy to like infest, and I was like, oh, like, I did not want to deal with it, right? And I before I moved out, like, I unopened all my boxes just to make sure nothing got inside, and I literally like cleaned everything, like just making sure like, okay, there's no eggs, there's nothing stuck in here. Like, I washed everything, and like I was super like very like, like I try to be very like persistent about it to make sure like nothing would be brought over to like my new place. And I also messaged like our landlord, because we had reached out to our landlord a few times being like, hey, there's roaches like in our apartment. And he kept blaming my roommates, because he was like, oh, it's because your roommates have a dog, and dogs are actually known for bringing in pests. So it's not my fault you guys have roaches, it's actually the dog's fault, and you guys have to get rid of him. That was like his reasoning. And we're like, and so in general we're kind of like, okay, well, no, the dog's here to stay, so we're not getting rid of him, and you need to do something about the roaches. And we're like bringing up the laws and everything too. We're like, oh, by state law you need to have like this and that taken care of, you can't have us live in these conditions for this long and stuff like that, right? And so finally he got like an exterminator to come out, and the exterminator was like, oh my god, yeah, like this is like a super long ongoing issue, you can tell, because like this is all gross and nasty. And he took out this like plate from the back of our fridge, and it was like all yellow, and he said that it was all yellow due to the amount of roach infestation that's been there, and that's all like the feces and like other things. And like oh, sorry, I hit my mic. But it was like so like it was just so gross, right? And so the exterminator was like, yeah, this isn't like your guys' fault or anything. The landlord should have taken care of this like a long time ago. Also, like, dogs don't bring roaches, like food in general does, but not specifically dogs, right? And so he told our landlord that he recommends the whole building get fumigated. But our landlord did not want to spend that much money on like the care and everything, so he hired another team, and they were basically like, oh yeah, like I think it was, like, this extermination group was like his like friends or something, because they like agreed with him. They were like, oh no, he's dying, save yourself. I don't know, is he gonna live? Oh, there he goes. Well, that was sad. How do I save this home? How's there lava? This whole thing is on fire. Oh my god. This whole thing spawned on lava. No, this cute little cottage. Damn. That sucks. Maybe I should have turned off like fire spreading. But what was I saying? So yeah, sorry. So yeah, so like the exterminators that he like officially hired were basically like, oh yeah, the dog is actually bringing in the pest. Like, we'll take care of it for now and everything, but like you guys like have to deal with it. I forgot what exactly it was, right? But they were very like adamant that like it wasn't the apartment's fault or anything. And so once we had 2 fumigations done in our unit, I was like, okay, this is like, I'm done with it. Like, I gotta get out of here. This is disgusting. And like I found out through like mutual friends who used to work with like my coworkers too, that that one of the guys I was rooming with had like awful credit, because like he just had a bunch of like debt on his cards, and like he didn't take care of like his other apartment and like some other stuff, and like I don't know, like I just found out so many things about like my roommates that I feel like I should have known before moving in with them. But I feel like because they knew I was in like on good like financial standing, they were like able to take advantage of that to get like approved for any apartment. And I don't know, like that just like in general pissed me off. So it was just bad. Like my first apartment experience was like awful. And then also like one of my friends had gotten me like a microwave, like a really nice microwave, as like a housewarming gift. And I went to go get all my things to move out one day, because I had like stayed over at a friend's place for like a week or two. And so I went back to the apartment to like get my stuff, and I noticed that the microwave was gone. Like some of my other like roommates' things were still there, like they had like a toaster oven and some other stuff, but my microwave was gone. And I was like, that's weird, because I haven't moved any of my appliances, right? And I like asked my roommates, I was like, hey, have you guys like seen my microwave anywhere? And they were like, oh yeah, we just felt like it was unsafe in the apartment, so we took it with us. And I'm like, what do you mean it's unsafe in the apartment? You guys have your own appliances still in the apartment. Like, why would you take my microwave? And they're like, oh, we just felt like it's unsafe, but like if you want it back, like I guess we'll return it. And I'm like, well, fuck yeah, I want my I want my microwave back, right? Like it was a gift, and it's a really nice microwave. It's like really heavy duty type, um, and like they dropped it off at like my new place I was staying at, and at least um like the boyfriend of my room, like my old roommate, like he looked really upset to be there. Like he like kind of like, oh, how dare you like tell me to return this kind of vibe, while I'm like, this is my microwave. Like you guys have also been using it without me telling you anything for like the last like 6 months. Um because like the apartment didn't come with the microwave, right? Like I let them use it, like um and I didn't like tell them anything about it. I was just kind of like, oh yeah, this is mine, but if you guys like need to use it, like go ahead and everything. um and but since I had like, because I like low-key wasn't really living in my unit for the most part, because like I hated being with the roaches. Like I just could not actually like live in there. I like stay a couple nights a week, but usually I'd go to like another friend's house to stay, or like my parents' place or something. Like I don't know, I would like almost couch surf pretty much to like stay away from the pests. And so when they brought me back the microwave, I was kind of like, oh, I hope they didn't like fuck it up or anything. Like 'cause I wasn't really there to watch like them use my stuff or anything. And they had oh my god. Um but they had like, it was like moldy in there, and it was like kind of gross. And there was like a little roach kind of stuck in one of the vents, which was, it was disgusting. Little, it was awful, and I was so like upset they had returned it to me in like that condition. And I was like, why couldn't they at least have cleaned it or like something, right? Um, I don't know. That whole the whole first apartment experience like just was awful. It just sucked. Like I'm so happy I'm like out of that experience, and like I don't have to ever deal with that ever again. Like um I don't know. I feel for anyone out there like renting for the first time, like be careful, because if you're not careful, you will get stuck in like the shittiest living like environment. But yeah. Oh, I remember I got on this tangent because I know I'm so sure I was like, I was thinking to myself like, there's no way they're planning on stealing this microwave, right? Like there's no way. Like that, like I just kept, because I don't know, I really try to see the good in people. So I was really like, there's no way they would try to steal my microwave, right? Like we're friends, we're coworkers, like all this stuff, right? And then everyone, like all my other friends around me were like, no, we're pretty sure they're trying to steal your microwave. Like 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 it's an expensive microwave, they're probably trying to take it. And I was like, no way. But I'm so sure they were. And I was just like, and I just hate that, like, oh, like had I not caught them about it, like, because for the most part I wouldn't have cared if they took like other things, because I don't know, like I'm not crazy sentimental or anything about it, but I was like upset 'cause I'm like, I got gifted that, like that's like, that was a present, like, and they're taking it, like it was like a housewarming gift. um but yeah, I don't know, it just sucked. um but yeah, like the reason why I brought up that tangent about my whole apartment and everything is because I have like a phobia of pests now. I can't talk. I have like a phobia of pests. So, um, like before it wasn't that bad. It was just kind of like more of like a bug kind of phobia. But now it's like in general, like I have a fear of like having pests in my home or anything. Um, and so right now my apartment, like in my current apartment, we have ants, which is so much better versus like roaches. I would way rather have like ants versus like having roaches. Um, but ants are just so annoying because they're so small, and it's a lot easier for them to get into little things. Um, and it's just like, I don't know, I hate it so bad because like they got into my closet recently, and I was like, what do you want in my closet? Like I have nothing for you in my closet. Um, and I know eventually they'll kind of like just die off and everything, but with my apartment we're trying to like coordinate a time to like um get like an extermination. At first I thought we couldn't do something with the apartment, um just because in our lease it says if we do have any pest issues, then it's kind of like we have to deal with it on our own. And so we were kind of ready to do that. But the apartment was like, no, actually, like we'll set up like a date for when we should go into your unit to like fumigate and everything. It's just a little hard because oh jeez, it's just a little hard because we have 3 cats, so like we have to figure out what we're gonna do with 3 cats while they fumigate our unit. Yeah, I hope. Oh my god. I hope that like we're able to get like some sort of date set soon and everything. And it's kind of like I don't know. It's kind of exhausting too coming home from work, laying on your couch and seeing a little ant crawl on you. Like that just pees me so much. It pissed me off so much. Like I think it was yesterday where I'm like laying on my couch. I'm like on my phone, and all of a sudden, like my hand, I see the little ant crawling, and I'm like, don't tell me they're on my fucking couch. And thankfully, they weren't like all over it or anything, right? It was just like a couple, but I was still so upset that I like could not lay on my couch, and like just scroll on my phone casually. We have like a bunch of baby powder all over the unit, because like baby powder like annoys like the ants like exoskeleton and everything. And so all over my apartment I have like a bunch of like baby powder everywhere. So I don't know, I feel like I can't have friends over right now or anything because like they'll see it and be like, why do you have baby powder, you know, like what are you doing? I remember like the first day we were putting it down, it was like all in the air and it like sucked because like it was so hard to breathe sometimes. So we had to put like the fan on and stuff like that just to like air it out a lot better. Well, I don't know, the sound of the clashing roll like with the iron golem scared me. I think I lost where my original home is. The other village. I know the other. It's like somewhere. No, I would have. Oh my god. I think couches are like one of the worst things to get as like a hand me down. Cause like I don't know, like especially like depending on like the material of the couches and everything too. Like, oh, I could have anything. Oh, I'm just like thinking about like something crawling out of it. Like it's terrifying. Sometimes like on Facebook Market, I'm like tempted to like buy some things, but then I'm like, oh no, because like what if there's like pests or something, or like even worse, like what if it's haunted? Like what if there's like a ghost attached to it? um, I don't know. It just sucks. Like I feel like it's like a huge, even like with people you know, I think it's like a risk like accepting gifts and stuff like that. Like anything that's like a couch or like cushions or sometimes wood things. There's like so many zombies around here. Maybe I'll just go into an igloo and bunker up. I'll chill here, why not? Yeah, I think, well, it's kind of nice that at least Facebook has like the stars rating and everything, and you can like read reviews of like like frequent sellers and stuff like that. I think it sucks if you find something and there's like no reviews or like nothing for the seller. I mean, it's like a brand new person. And you're like, do I trust this person or not? Like, I don't know. I think depending what kind of area you live in too, like I think if you lived in a really like rural area too, like I would not trust like meeting a random stranger. I don't know, like I think being in a very like secluded type of like rural area is like really scary because like anything could happen. I think, I don't know, like I've learned at least that if you do meet up with strangers online, you go in pairs. You take a buddy with you and you hope for the best. I always like have someone with me. Usually I'll like ask like one of my like guy friends to come with me, like if I ever have to like meet up with someone online or anything, because like, you know, I'm a kind of small gal, right? And I don't want anything, you know, anything can happen really. So I always ask like someone like, hey, can you like come and look intimidating, please? Do you think he would be mad if I threw snowballs at him? I collected so much junk. I was supposed to explore the new update today and I just collected junk. That's all I did. Okay, but I think I'm gonna end stream here because it's 12:30 where I'm at, and I said I was gonna end it like 30 minutes ago, and I did. um, Here I'll do save and quit the title. But yeah, thank you guys for coming to my stream and hanging out with me for a little bit and hearing all my rants and just watching me run around for a few hours. Um, I don't know how long I've been streaming for. Maybe like, oh, it's been like almost 3 hours. Oh my god. But but alrighty. But thank you. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night, good weekend. Um, Good. Oh, the mace! I didn't get the mace either. I have to do research of like what to do to get the mace. I feel like, cause I heard you need like the new stuff they came out with, like the new like ingredients or whatever it is, for the crafting table. And I don't know how to get that either. I just need to get like new. I just need to figure out like what I want to do. I thought I could just like log in and figure it out, and I just could not do it. But alright. But good night, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. Bye bye.